And not muted. All right. Hello, everybody. Just get myself organized here. Turn this music down just a bit more. There you go. Hi. Welcome to another episode of WIP Wednesday Live. Tonight is episode 30. 30, that's crazy. Usual YouTube stuff. If you haven't been here before, please show some love and subscribe and hit that like button if you don't mind. Makes a big difference. This is a weekly show where I customize live and mostly just chat with the chat, but do a variety of customizing. Last week I worked on this Quicksilver. I've been working on this Age of Apocalypse Quicksilver. I did all the blue last week and still not quite finished. I have to touch up all my work on the lightning bolts that I masked, but I'm mostly liking it. But I also decided I need to fix his forehead because his hair went a little too low, so we'll do that with a better camera later. But tonight I'm going to be working on this Age of Apocalypse Gambit figure that I pieced together. I was hoping to get a session in on him yesterday, but no dice. Let's see here. So this week, I decided to bring on a guest, someone who has actually supported this channel since kind of its incarnation. We have never really spoken a great deal, more so just since I've started this channel. And he does something very similar to what I do here on Wednesday nights. On Sunday nights, he calls it WIP It Sunday live. Here is Jared, aka Collector Express.
Hello, everyone. Just disembodied voice and giant hands.
I'll switch to the desk view in a minute. Hey, man, thank you for being here. Thank you very much for taking the time. I know we have a 3-hour time difference.
I'm glad to be here. I love getting to talking with other customizers and just getting to hang out. And I think more of us to do this.
Well, the times that I have caught your show, they're very similar in the fact that, we just spend a lot of time chatting with the chat and talking with one another while we're working on stuff. And I'm glad that you are wanting to do some customizing, because usually when I have guests on, we end up just kind of shooting the shit. So it's fun to be able to actually customize with somebody. You're kind of set up for it, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah, my workstation's set up to be
live streamed at any time.
When I first started the show on Sunday, it was just WIP Sunday Live. I could not just say WIP. I gotta say whip it. Whip it good.
Dude. Love it. So for anybody who maybe doesn't know who you are and what you do you want to kind of give everyone a little rundown of who you are, what you do, what you collect? Talk about your weekly, your WIP It Sundays. That would be awesome.
As Matthew mentioned, that I have a similar show on Sunday nights with a panel of different customizers and friends. We work on customs and chit chat, talk about geek stuff, or it's just stuff going on in general. But it's fun.
There's always something to talk about in our community.
Oh, absolutely, and it seems like it's gotten to be such a toy drama thing anymore.
It really has. Yeah, it really has. It's kind of been a little bit of a bummer.
It's like Marsha. Everybody's like, I'm tired of seeing Galactus. I was like, people get tough.
Dude, I'm so the opposite. I actually want to talk to you about Galactus because I did
happy and thrilled that they've been waiting a year for this.
Yeah, man. I remember how stoked I was to get Sentinel, so I definitely can relate.
Don't smash on people's joy.
Yeah, man, exactly. I agree. Garth Gutierrez says Collector Express brought me here. Oh man, that looks so fucking good. Yeah, the stretch goals are another whole other piece.
Small.
He's too small?
Yeah.
Oh, is he supposed to be big? I don't really know. Oh yeah. In fairness, I guess that Thor's. Wow, that is really small.
they should be the same size. He's listed at 6'6". He's listed at 6'6".
Interesting. I did not realize that they were that out of scale to one another.
Let's see if I got somebody together. Well, here's a.
That's too bad.
Look, he's the same height as the Grim Reaper body.
That's disappointing a little bit.
Yeah, he's gorgeous figure. We can just.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
Of course, you can always do like what Jay Hernandez when he was doing like the Todd McFarlane impersonation. It's all about perspective.
Perspective.
You hold him up a little bit closer to the camera, he's bigger.
That's great. Darth Gutierrez says Collector Express brought me here, so thank you. And I was just saying to you right before we started,
hey,
I noticed a bunch of new subscribers signing up to my channel today after you posted that little sizzle reel for tonight's episode. So thank you very much for doing that. That's outside of my skill level. I'm pretty useless on a computer, I won't lie. So
Darth is in the same time zone as you are too. So
that works great. I recognize his name from Toy Migos and from I think from Toying Around too. I think he's a regular in both of those shows in the chat. So welcome.
He's an awesome dude.
Yes, that's awesome. I love having new awesome people to chat with in the chat. So that's great. What kind of stuff do you collect, Jared?
I collect
obviously Marvel Legends.
Marvel Legends. I still got a soft spot for my DC Universe classic stuff.
All right, that's fair.
And I like Transformers. I got Masterpiece scale, and I got mainline figures. Of course, if the mainline figures were as good as they are now, I probably would never got into Masterpiece.
Have they really come a long way or something? I'm not a Transformers guy in any way. It's like talking Dragon Ball to me.
Yeah, they're smaller than what they used to be, but the detail and transformations and the character looks
much better.
You love. It's
nice.
They are fantastic figures.
That's great, man. That's always nice when you can see the companies improving. I mean, they should. They've had that license for literally ever, haven't they?
Well, they own it.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. I've heard good things about the Masterpieces. I have some friends, like really of my local group friend, I'm the only one who doesn't Transformers. So yeah, I'm like kind of the odd man out, but yeah, they're always talking about it. So I kind of get little bips and bops that I put the pieces together.
Stuff too. So I got some.
And you like what, sorry?
Import figures stuff too. So I got Dragon Ball, I see figure arts,
nice.
Some Mayfix stuff, and
that's awesome.
I have a pretty extensive collection. Yes.
You've been collecting for a long time too, haven't you? Because I recognize your Instagram handle from Fwoosh, because I remember being on the Fwoosh back in the day. I was very active on the forums. And I remember I recognize your name immediately. That's how I recognize it. It took me a while to realize that Collector Express was 1987 olds. Like I didn't actually piece that together until quite some time after. So,
another one of fellow customizers from the Sunday Night Show just in the chat.
That's awesome, Ninja Master K. Squad up in the comments, people. Share the toy love. Hey man, welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate the love.
That's Instagram is my legacy handle from the forums and stuff. Is like
right.
I was pretty active customizer back in the day too. Is 1970 442, which I have one of those with a big block. but that's where it came from. It's just when I was putting together the YouTube channel, I started to split up with a buddy of mine who has a comic book shop. So
I was reading the about and I was unsure because I didn't realize that it was two of you.
Yeah, he does all the comic book content.
Gotcha.
And I do all the toy content.
That's cool, man. That's dope. I love that.
So when our powers combined, we were Collector Express.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, again, thank you very much for being here. Why don't you tell everybody what you're going to be working on tonight? So it's nice because we're going to actually get to customize tonight. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've only had one or two people on the show that I've gotten to customize with. Usually I just chat with them. So it's nice. It's a nice little change up.
First up, I want to show off your awesome neck mod. I'm using the living daylights of the neck mod.
Here, let's do this. Hang on. Let's do this.
This is the retro carded Rogue, and I did. If you go on Matthew's channel, he's got a tutorial on how to do a neck mod. Put a double ball peg in here. You slice off the top of your ball joint. I'll play it somewhere, but you slice that off, drill it out, and you got bought some of the internals figures cheap, so I got the double ball pegs.
That's awesome, man.
So much more range of movement.
Oh, it's way better. It's way better.
So more fluid, more natural movements on that neck joint.
It's the biggest reason why I don't like using those old female bodies is like they don't have any neck movement other than just the ball joint. And it's like, it's such a bummer. You don't get to have any expression. There's no tilt in the head. There's no.
Well, just of course, I also did a siren arm swap on this one.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love how that looks.
And
and that's literally nothing, right? Like you didn't have to do anything to that. You just
heat and pop swap.
Heat and pop. Fucking love it.
Now,
that's dope, man.
I have noticed an issue with the pinless joints, especially on the females' arms and legs.
They're fused?
Be careful with them.
Yeah. I had a couple that have been fused. I had a Shriek that had a fused lower arm. Can't remember which one.
The elbows and knees are hard plastic. So
yes, they are.
Stretch marks on those.
I didn't actually notice that, but
I noticed it on the siren legs when I was doing the Meta Hydra.
How do you like customizing with those pinless figures?
If you got a figure, it's love and hate.
Yeah, same here. Okay.
They're beautiful looking sculpts.
They are. They're a fucker
really,
to get really properly pumped, though, eh?
It's when I got a tutorial on my channel, like how to prep joints for paint. I was like, number one rule for prep for joints for paint: don't find a figure that's got the color you need. So that's kind of what you need to do with the pinless joints.
Yeah,
and we don't have enough yet of the females. We got black and green.
Yeah, we've only got a couple, and then I mean, I guess we'll have Electra soon, and I got there you go. I forgot about her.
Yeah, we got blue too. So.
Which is nice. I will say the thing I love about them is I love that the joints are sturdier. You don't get that like bowing at the knees and elbows anymore. It's really nice.
Look, you can see there's the stress mark right there.
Hang on, let me blow it up again here. Hang on.
Oh, camera's a little blurry. It's not the camera's not gonna pick it up. There's a big white stress.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. Oh shit, I don't think I've experienced that yet.
When you push it back up, it goes away.
Right. But still, it's not a sign you want to see. Oh, yeah, that's weird. I wonder if mine does that. Mine's in my display. She's at the back, too far to get to.
This one.
That one looks okay.
A little bit. This is better.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. Anytime you got to really put in any work for it, that's usually when it's,
There's the stretch mark. So that's the thing to look out for the females.
Yep.
I haven't noticed it on Vulcan.
On the guys yet? Yeah, I haven't either. But
they're a little beefier.
Yeah, there's a bit more substance to those joints too, right? Like they're a bit thicker too, right? So.
Oh, never mind. There it is.
You got it on Vulcan? I just bought another Vulcan because I was like, man, when he goes on sale for a little cheaper, like what a bargain. You're getting 2 sets of hands, plus you're getting a bone breaker torso with another 2 sets of hands, one of which being the up and down trigger hands, which I'm a big fan of.
And I'm actually got to sit. I'm painting up for my upgraded U.S. agent.
Oh, nice.
Trigger hands.
Give him some up and down trigger hands.
And I give him a Paladin holster.
Nice. That's a good call.
I haven't found a head I'm real happy with this one yet.
That's your Toy Biz one, right? That's your Toy Biz Series 1?
On the stock one I got for cheap. I'm going to paint this one up to match the Captain when Steve Rogers was in his costume.
Nice. I like that idea.
Now, the shock wool won't really do anything for the stress marks. It's just the weakness of the joint.
The plastic. Yeah. Shock oil is more when you have something that you want to eliminate the friction on. You know, something like that is it's less friction, it's more stress. Like it's more.
Oh, this has got I've seen a lot of people do this, and they're not
the
really
super long pegs.
This is non-modified. then that's as far as they go.
Yeah, I just did this as well.
But when you do get rid of the pegs, yes, it does give you a lot more range of motion. But
Those pegs are comically long. Like
there's a rail system inside
comically
that holds
long.
the figure together.
Oh man, it just seems so unnecessary though. You know what I mean? Like when I actually did it because I got Artman Customs did that tutorial about it for the Black Panther, and I just got my Black Panther. So the other night when I dismantled Gambit to do my prep on him, I dismantled Black Panther and did the shoulder mod. Makes a huge difference, man.
Yeah,
huge difference.
Huge difference in range of motion, but they're not telling people though it's going to be loose.
It is a bit loose, yeah, for sure.
But they need people. Yes, huge difference. I like the range of motion, but it is going to be loose.
It's noticeably looser.
The peg on the top. They just got the peg on the bottom, then they put that rail system inside that holds the arm, the butterfly joint together.
Yes.
Now you don't have that top joint. When you cut that peg, that's what causes the looseness.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. It's kind of like the Power Rangers, though. Power Rangers Lightning Collection, their shoulders have the super long peg joints that connect into the torso.
The Joes do, too.
Do they? Yeah.
They got that long peg.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess it is what it is, right? So
they got the top joint though, so you got the mushroom peg on the bottom and the top. So once you swap those out,
at least they're still connected. It's like I hate having it just the peg on the bottom. That's like the Pizza Spidey body. It doesn't have the same peg system on the inside, but it only
they retooled it to have that long pegs.
Yeah.
All the new figures using the Pizza Spidey has the long pegs now.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. It's been a minute since I've used that body.
I sent it one of those. I got the Xavier body cheap for and a friend of mine's custom tailoring a purple suit for it and making a Lord Pumpkin in Marvel Legends size. I got these cool head sculpts from Big Head Studios.
Oh, I think I saw you post those actually.
I did the first one. He's going to be sending me a replacement for this one because the resin wasn't mixed properly and it's soft.
Oh,
you can actually take your fingernail and push into it.
Make a note. That's too bad.
But
looks cool though.
So I'm actually using this as a reference, and I'm taking a jack-o'-lantern and I'm going to sculpt one that's Marvel Legends size. This is meant for 70.
Very cool. Right? Yeah, that's a little big. That'd probably float on that Xavier body. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna flip over to my.
Oh, I forgot to mention what I was working on.
Yes. What are you working on? This always happens to me. I get sidetracked. Sorry, I'm not the best host. I won't lie.
Oh, I'm going to upgrade my upgraded H-Apocalypse Jean Grey. I'm redoing her on different things. The upper torso, I'm leaving alone. It's the Odin Wave Scarlet Witch upper torso that I modified to work with the arms and
good call.
Because it's got that's before Hasbro decided to breast are bad.
Yes.
I swapped the neck out with one of these torsos, and that's before I knew I found you did
tutorial,
and so I just put a disc hinge on there and I hit it with I've made it as seamless as possible, but the collar type is weird.
That's a smart idea though.
And you can't use these arms on this torso without modifying. I actually put O-rings inside of the torso to push the arms out because these arms are just.
Oh, because they were inset so much.
Yeah. If you put them in without if you don't put the O-rings in to push widen this torso, they will not go down like this. They'll be out.
Right, so they won't lay at her sides, and I hate that. Yeah.
So I'm going to use a Moonstone lower torso and some Shriek legs and make a new lower body.
That's a great idea.
And also, if I get time, I want to start working on my Electrocute some more. I printed off reference pictures.
I love that you do that.
Sure.
That's cool. So you're going to use a Siren body for that, I'm assuming.
Siren and Enchantress. The torso is Enchantress, and the legs and arms are going to be Siren.
Cool. I like that. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, that should work nicely. I
like the torso on the They don't really use that torso a lot on different figures.
No, they don't. They don't. Just Scarlet Witch and Enchantress and
Shuri, Black Panther has it.
And right, that's right.
Medusa.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Wasp. But Wasp has the upper torso for the wings.
Yes, the different wings. Yes, that's right. That's right.
I'm trying to think of all the figures that's got it, and I think that's about it.
That was a good one. I like that one. Again, that was before they kind of stopped making them so curvy.
Yeah, that's when they went to this ugly skinny leg body they use a lot.
I fucking hate those, man. I hate them so much.
Terrible.
I hate them. I'm not a fan.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm going to start working too, so I figure I'm just going to get going. Maybe we can just chat it up.
Women have curves. It's all right.
I know. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing is you don't have to sexualize it. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just to make them like all just like sticks. It's just like I don't love it.
Like, toy reviewer review this one, and she was pissed about this one.
Yeah, it's Jean especially.
Yeah, she's like she was like Renton's like they gave Jean a 12-year-old girl's body.
Yeah, they really did.
And it's what it looks like. It looks like a preteen body.
Yeah, man, I'm not a fan of it. There's definitely some useful parts on it, but I'm not a fan of. I don't like that. And like those skinny legs, I am not a fan of those skinny legs at all.
And those knees on it look bad to warp too.
Oh, dude, the knees are brutal, man. They just bow out like she's been horseback riding all day. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. I am almost ready to crack open my new thing of epoxy sculpt because this stuff is getting hard to work with.
Oh,
I bought black epoxy sculpt for my replacement.
Yeah,
because I've never used it before, but like I find that there's a pretty noticeable difference between white and gray. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but
I have not. I've only recently started using the epoxy sculpt. I've always used fixed.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Let's see. Her eyes are greens. For my electrocute, I'm using the Retro Carter Black Widow head. Her eyes are already green. It's actually
nice.
Decently painted female face. I don't know they've really started messing up the female faces here lately too.
Yeah, I'm noticing some weird changes to the more recent Legend stuff. There's certain things I'm liking. Like I'm liking the more dynamic hair and I'm liking that stuff, but there's some like I don't like that siren. That siren head is like scary looking to me. I'm not a fan of it.
No, I agree.
It's weird.
On the packaging art, like with solicitation pictures, she looks younger.
Yeah, I know. It's just it didn't come out in the actual sculpt, like in the actual
the original
finished product.
Figure, she looks like she's 15 years older than the skull.
Man, I hear you.
And the choice not do a screaming head.
You're going to or not going to?
No.
Siren. Oh God, yeah, that's annoying in its own right.
It's like her power is screaming.
Like, how do you? Yeah.
Like the recent interview, they were talking about that, and they said originally she was supposed to come with two heads.
Yeah, they did a screaming head. I thought they said.
But cost it out, so they're going to do one head. Then do the screaming head.
I agree.
I like the default for the neutral head just because people got upset for was it the Hood? He's got that horrible screaming head, and Thunderstruck's got that horrible screaming head.
Yep. Like the thing is
those are not characters that should be screaming.
They should, if you're gonna have to cut, you should always make them be able to be displayed the way their powers work. So it's like I remember when Cannonball came out and he didn't have legs and everyone shit the bed, and I was like I get it, I do get it, but also I'm like, I am never gonna use the legs for Cannonball. Like he would always be in exploding mode for me in my display. It's different, I guess, if you like take toy photography or like something like that. But it's like if he's just gonna sit in your display, like he would always be in Cannonball mode for me. So it doesn't really matter to me.
You know, it would have been great though if we had that. We could have had an extra set of legs for.
Oh yeah, true that.
I never bought the box.
I bought the box set because I wanted Richter, and then I figured at least I'll just have Cannonball's legs then when I need it. And mine came in, and he had 2 right feet.
Oh,
Like, of course. Man,
I
of
remember
course.
that. Yeah,
So I remember I like messaged Hasbro, and I'm like, hey, like this is what's up. And they're like, oh, we can't replace it, so we'll just give you something for the inconvenience. So they gave me like a white Doctor Doom. Like, cool, thanks, man.
Did it explode?
Yeah, guess that's the equivalent, I guess. But, all right.
Did your Doctor Doom stay together? Because
He did. What is that? Is that one another one that breaks apart? I didn't have any issues with that one.
The Blue Stealth Iron Man and the Doctor Doom, they explode.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I know like clear plastic generally does, so Iceman and all that. I know they do, but yeah, I never had any issues with. I remember the Stealth Iron Man also having that issue. Like, I never had that figure, but I remember people having it and being like, it just fell apart in my hands. It's like, oh, that fucking sucks. So, whereabouts are you located?
I am in Southwest Virginia.
Southwest Virginia. And what's the toy scene like there? Like, is it easy for you to find figures? Is it, like, I know, like, I hear of stories like California, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even imagine having to deal with that. Like, just like constant scalpers, can't find anything ever.
They just don't stock around here very well.
Oh, really? Okay. We're pretty lucky up in Canada, man. I can't deny it. Like, we're, like, our Toys R Us's are like literally stockpiled. But the problem is like their pricing is like out to lunch. Like, they're gonna end up closing because they've just in the last. So like here, like a standard Marvel Legends or Star Wars Black Series figure here in Canada is like 37.99, I think now. That's the regular price.
Mm-hmm.
It's bonkers. But like go back like, I don't know, like 2 years ago, and they were $29.99. So they've almost gone up $10 in a year, or like in a couple years. It's crazy. But at Toys R Us, they sell them for $42.99. And then exclusives. So your Target exclusives are our Toys R Us exclusives because we don't have Target.
Buddy, on my streams on Sundays, he is in Canada.
Oh, nice.
And he was telling me Hulk Smash Customs.
Oh yeah, I recognize that name. I didn't know he was Canadian. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he was part of the WGC on Facebook, the world's greatest customizer group.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was active.
Yeah, I think I was in that or am in that. I can't remember. I don't really use Facebook a lot.
It's
but
basically decommissioned now. It's just basically it's just got to be too much work on.
Oh, did it? Yeah, I can imagine that. Well, I can imagine the problem with something like that is you invest your time in it, and everybody has something to fucking say about it.
Yeah.
It's like nothing like feeling the appreciation.
Well, I don't know if you know this little trick here. I learned it from watching Hot Wheels channels, customizing channels. Use super glue and baking soda as a quick filler.
Oh yes, I have heard of that before. I can't remember where I saw that, but I know that like a guy that I follow, Peggy Dad, he uses that method quite a bit too.
He learned it from me.
Yes, I think he did learn it from you. Actually, I'm pretty sure he did say that. Yes. He uses it a lot. Like, he uses it a lot.
His Smart Hulk, grafting those legs, it turned out beautiful.
His turned out amazing. The first ones were a little dicey, but he went back and redid them, and they looked fantastic.
I actually sent him that head that he's using on now.
Oh, did you? Oh, that was from you. That's awesome. He's a really nice guy. We chat pretty regularly. So
he was disappointed that because he's in Scotland and it's 4 a.m. there.
Yes, that's right.
He mentioned it's like gonna be an epic show. It was like
we chatted a lot when I was in Amsterdam because we were on similar time zones at that point. So like when everybody else was sleeping, he was like the person that was awake, and like we ended up just chatting like pretty regularly through that whole trip. Like almost every day we were chatting. So kind
Gary,
of got to chat a little bit more regularly at that point. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Gary's super cool.
Yeah, he really is. So, and for the small amount of time he's been customizing, he actually does some pretty cool stuff too.
Oh, I've seen his skill improve just
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yep. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So,
Seams
so
on
the what? Sorry.
Cleaning up all the seams for a start.
Yeah, I usually start like that's what like even for tonight. It's not the I was really hoping to get a sculpt session in on this guy yesterday so I could do all the boring stuff last night, but I just didn't get to it unfortunately. So tonight I'm just doing boring like filling all the peg holes and I might do some parts on the legs tonight. So we'll see. But I always figured if I need more to do, I still have this Quicksilver that I need to finish. So I have work to do.
Stuff I need to work on. So
yeah. I really need to focus on my Secret Santa, which I obviously can't do on a live stream. But I've been waiting for a piece in the mail, which it was supposed to get delivered today. Now that I think about it, I don't remember letting Amazon into my building. Hopefully it showed up. But I bought a press, like a scrapbooking stamp thing where like it kind of like cuts out pieces of paper in a certain shape. So I'm going to use it on some really thin Procreate and use it for some of the details on my figure. So, and it's like a pretty good part of the torso. So I need to, I kind of need it before I can really move ahead. So, but once I have that in hand, then I really have to get focused on that because Secret Santa, the final dates is like November 15th. So, and I pretty much had to start over my custom. I was working on something and I was super unhappy with it. And finally I was just like, you know what? This is becoming too much of a chore. I just can't do this. So I actually started over like 2 weeks ago. Use like all my time and then realize that it's not working. Fuck off.
Sometimes that's the best case, though.
It is.
You start chasing your own tail.
Yep. Well, sometimes you can just see the writing on the wall, you know?
Yep.
And it's like, you know, I would just after every session, I was like, okay, I can fix this still, but like, you know, at the end, am I still going to be like as happy and stoked about it as I think I'm going to be? And like, I just kind of realized that I probably wasn't going to be, so sucks. But it is what it is. You got Galactus this week, did you not?
Yes, I did. And
how you're loving him? He looks amazing.
He is amazing. They went overboard fixing the knees. They are beautifully strong. Yeah, they're. You can hear the ratchets in those knees when you move those. Now it's like click, 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 click. The torso actually is built like the body you're using right now. It's got the diaphragm.
Oh, it's got the double. Oh.
And the reverse ab crunch on the bottom.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I can't remember who it was. I just saw someone posting him like in a pretty crazy pose. And I was like, holy shit, that seems like excessive for a figure that big.
Yeah, but that ab crunch part, the diaphragm moves pretty good. Yeah, ab crunch is tight as shit.
Oh, see, yeah, that would worry me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm a big dude and I can torque stuff easily. So it worries me when stuff don't want to move because I can make it move.
Right.
Oh, the John Wick, like Shorta did, the quick little custom I made.
Yep.
One of the comments on it was like, "Your hands are huge." I thought that was a 1/18 scale figure. Yeah.
I'm a relatively big dude, but I guess I'm not like, you know. I guess I think I only think that because growing up, I was always like the biggest kid in school, but like in comparison to like everyone else, like I really haven't grown that much since I was younger. So it's like, I'm only like 6. I'm 6'1", so it's like I'm tall, but I'm not like
Yeah, well,
fucking
I'm
huge.
just taller than you. I'm 6'2", but I'm beefy.
Yeah.
I'm plump.
I was always a scrawny
I'm a
guy.
jolly man. I'm a jolly man, and I have the Santa beard to prove it. Okay, whatever. I got her smooth down, so I'm going to move to the paint.
Oh man. So Galactus, how have you kind of decided where you're going to put him in your display, in your collection? Like, you got a Sentinel too, right?
And I did not get the Sentinel.
Oh, you passed on Sentinel. Okay.
If I got them, I would put them in master mold because I'm fine with the. I got several of the Marvel Universe ones.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, those are cool too.
So I actually just got stuck with those because I didn't really.
Are you a big X-Men guy, or are you more of a?
I like the X-Men, but I'm not huge into the X-Men.
Gotcha.
I've got a really cool like action shelf over there with X-Men when they're fighting.
Right.
I got 3 of those universe ones, and I'm happy with them. So
yeah, that's good. If that works, then whatever, right?
At the time, too, it's like I have no idea where I'm going to put that sucker. And
yeah, that's the hardest thing about those HasLabs, is it's like you have a piece that's that expensive, you want to like display them in your case, but it's like they literally are like they have the size of your case, so it's like how do you do that?
I took down just redoing. I took down a shelf and took down my Fortress Maximus and a Scorponok Titan class Transformers.
Yep.
So that Galactus and his heralds are going to go there.
Nice.
That
would be a nice little display.
Super disappointed we didn't get a new Terrax.
I am also. I'm not disappointed because that's a corner of the Marvel universe. Like for me, it's like I know who Galactus is. I've read stories of him with him in it, and it's just like he's not a character I feel like I need in my display. So like it was easy enough for me to just say I'm good on this. But now that I'm like seeing everybody post and like all the pictures, like there's just so like my Instagram feed is like 80% Galactus right now, right? And it's like. And it's fucking awesome. Like I love it.
And everyone out there, you want to be negative. People posting your people Sentinels, they're happy. They just got something like you waited a freaking year for, and paid $421 for.
A good chunk of change. Yep, exactly.
And it turned out magnificent. Let people be happy.
Yeah, I agree. That's like even with the Robbie Rays is like. Man, I don't deny that people who say like it's not worth it. Like to me, it's not worth it to me either. But I don't wish it to fail. And like the thing that's a bummer is like it's not going like you can tell we're going in the wrong direction with that one. Like it's not going up, it's going down.
It is dropped. I think it's close
2,000.
Yeah, it was in the 6. It was almost 7,000 when it didn't meet the early bird.
Yeah, when it didn't meet the early bird. Now it's under 5,000.
Yeah.
So
now the only issue I have with Galactus is not even with Galactus himself.
Is with his herald. Yes, you were showing me that. That's disappointing.
He should be the same height as this 80th anniversary Thor. In Marvel Comics, they're listed being the same size. Morg is a big dude.
And I don't even know who that character is. I don't even actually recognize the name or him. Like most of my knowledge of like cosmic characters come from like trading cards or Marvel handbooks and stuff. But like I don't even recognize that character at all.
He's a former herald of Galactus, and he was evil. And he ended up killing Nova, one of his packmates.
Okay.
But he was a beast of a character. But they made him the same size as the Grim Reaper body, height-wise.
Yeah, why?
He's thick. Sculpt is gorgeous. But they made him too small.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And
That's my biggest thing with like
I
that
was
Vulcan
super
body,
looking forward to more too because I got that storyline from back in the '90s when they introduced
right?
the character and that whole big arc. He ended up getting like went to the well of life and plus with the power cosmic and the well of life, he actually became strong enough where he was actually tanking all the other heralds at the same time.
That's crazy. It's a shame though that they dropped the ball on that because it's like for such a character like a B-list D-list character like it's not like
Yeah,
he's gonna get another shot. You know what I mean? It's
exactly. Like there's no
that's
way
kind of it.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, it's a bummer. That's like I remember when they started showing off the Morph figure, the animated series Morph figure, and they were like, "Yeah, it's on the Vulcan body." In my mind, I'm just like, "That's too big for Morph."
Morph is
That's
almost the Vulcan is
he's so
almost
small.
Morg is just a little bit taller than
That's too bad. Yeah, because you said he's about the same size as a Reaper body, right?
yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's about the same size as a Vulcan body. They're pretty close.
He's just a smidge taller than Vulcan.
That's a shame. Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, he still looks badass, and I mean, I guess
I got him toe to toe right there.
Yeah, so he's not even the forehead bigger.
Yep. Sorry for my blurry camera. It's like
oh yeah, that's all good. No worries.
I need to get.
I upgraded my. I got a bonus this year at work. I upgraded my camera because like I've been eyeballing the ZV-1, the Sony ZV-1. It's like got this really nice autofocus that like pulls like right away. Right, it's really good, but it's like it was super expensive, and like I am not a photographer, so like I don't even use it the way I should be using it, and it's like. Yeah, to say I've had a little bit of buyer's remorse would probably be accurate because it's like I know I could just put the time in, but like I just don't have the time right now to do that. But
oh yeah,
but yeah,
you're doing better than me with on Instagram because I still don't know how to do shorts. Or not shorts, stories.
Reels? Oh, stories. Oh, yeah. I mean, stories are. I feel like stories are pretty easy. It's the reels that I haven't really gotten into, which I know I should, but I just don't care.
Yeah, the reels were easy enough for me because with YouTube Shorts,
yes, because they're very similar, right?
The last two reels I did, they're actually just shorts. I actually re-uploaded into Instagram.
Like that's what I did with yours today. As I just actually screen captured it off of YouTube, and then like posted it.
Next time, if we do this again, I can actually just
send me it. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I just loved it. I thought it was so cool. So it's just like, yeah, it's not really I'm not good with any of that stuff. I'm really bad with it. So I used to be like the guy who knew what was up, and now I'm like old.
I understand. I know something.
You know how it goes, right? That's just the nature of it. That's what happens.
Every farm remembers.
Oh, shit, that's great. So what are some of your favorite characters? So like I know customizing wise lately you've been doing a lot of Ultraverse stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a lot of attachment to that stuff, or is that just like a hole in your collection that you're just like enough? I'm filling this hole.
Love the Malibu Ultraverse stuff back in the day.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I liked a lot of the independent stuff when I was younger. It's like the Lady Death, and didn't get in a lot in the image, but I did like it.
Do you like Witchblade and stuff like that, or like Gen X or not Gen X, Gen 13?
Gen 13, yep, those are on my list. I want to make
nice.
For third party,
I did a Fairchild a long time ago. Like a long time ago.
Find a good recipe for Fairchild, make it right.
You have a good one?
Oh, I'm just saying. I need to figure out a good recipe for her.
Oh yeah.
She's
the thing is now there's enough good new stuff that you could probably find some good parts to do a lot of the work for you.
True.
When I did it, I didn't really have that. I had to do most of the sculpting on my own and stuff. It was still not a super heavy sculpt, which was nice, but
if Angela wasn't such armored character, that would have been a good base.
The issue with Angela is her height, though. Her height, she's just huge.
Oh yeah.
You know, but she's a big girl, right? So
Caitlin was really not that tall.
no.
She was,
So yeah, when I did it on, I can't remember which buck I did it. Like we're going back quite some time now. That was the first. I think that was the first like one-on-one swap I ever did, custom I ever did. I think it was for New Collector.
huh,
So yeah,
I love his stuff.
you what? Sorry, you love his stuff?
I love his stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'm a fan. I love I have an appreciation for somebody who just knows their business, and like when it comes to like parts and customizing, like he's the first person I go to when I'm like, "Hey man, I need skin colored Bucky cap arms." Like he's the person I go to because it's just like he knows his parts library so well,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like he's the easy he's always he'll always get back to me. So yeah, we chat pretty regularly. I think this year is actually, so we do one-on-one figure swaps like every single year and have as pretty almost as long as I can say I've been customizing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to actually be the only one. This year I'm going to take a little step away from doing the one-on-ones because I did so many this year that I'm just like, I really want to do some commissions. I've had people, there's a bunch of people who have been asking me to do stuff for them, and I just keep saying like maybe next year. And I think this year I'm finally going to actually just say, all right, let's put some time aside to do some commissions because I feel bad. So
I get a lot of questions. People ask me if I do commissions and stuff, and I got to post it. I don't. It's just I feel bad when I tell them like after saying no.
I know
work and everything going on with family stuff and my health, and it's like
yeah.
To do commissions.
Well, and the thing is too, right? Is it's like we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but it's like, you know, you always want to be able to deliver the best product you can deliver, and it's like,
Yep.
you know, even though you're confident in your abilities, there's always that fear of like, what if they are, you know, what if they handle it this way, or what if they, you know what I mean? It's like it like it sucks because you don't want to say no, but also it's just like
that last prime I made
stressful.
The last prime I made, while it was on
Yep.
eBay, I redid the forearms to make the pin, where I sculpted over the pins.
Yep.
I wanted to make it look even better.
I love that prime. I love that you've done like a few of him now, though, right? That's what your third one.
Let's see. I did 2 first forms. Actually, that was my 4th on.
That was yeah. I love how those turn out, man. They look so fucking good.
That body is perfect for prime.
It is. It really is. It's swole as fuck. It's just perfect. So good.
It's a shame they don't reuse that body more often.
I agree. I love it. I'm one of those guys who like, I think you're probably like this too, just based on your buying habits that I've seen. I think you're probably like this, where it's like I like to have one of each kind of base body like on hand at all times, so that way, like when I need it, I have it, kind of thing, you know.
Yep.
So it's like I actually just in my fodder bin have just like a full Caliban figure just chilling, like waiting for the time when like I need to pull it out and use it, right? But
and Hasbro would be silly if they do an animated series Sabretooth and don't use the Caliban.
And don't put it on that. I agree. He's huge in the animated series.
A standard comic book style classic one needs to be like one you made on the
Omega Red. I agree. But if you're doing the animated series, like, man, there's like a few reference images I've seen recently. I think I just saw someone do an animated Sabretooth using that Caliban body, and they showed a reference picture because I was like, oh, maybe that's a bit too big. But then I saw a reference picture of him holding Jubilee in his hand like she's like a little doll. Yeah. And I was like, oh, maybe not. So yeah, would probably work well.
Yeah, he was a beast in that show.
I fucking love Sabretooth, man. He's one of my favorites. Who's your favorite character? Like if you had to pick, you know, top 3 characters, or like a favorite hero and a favorite villain, or
I will always have soft spots for the Hulk. He's
big Hulk fan.
The Hulk and Superman is what got me in reading comics.
Interesting.
The death of Superman.
I am not a Superman fan at all.
Was the death of Superman? It's like one of the things that got me into reading DC.
Nice. Yep.
I love that whole arc with the Death, the Funeral for a Friend, The Reign of the Superman, and The Return. It was
very that's well with done. All the different. That's with like Mullet Superman and Superboy and Man of Steel, right?
The worst thing about that whole arc is when they had Doomsday come back to life. They should have left him dead.
So yeah, I don't know anything about DC. I'm literally completely brain dead on most of the DC stuff. I just don't know. Like I know the names and stuff, but I didn't. I don't know anything about it.
The worst origin for Doomsday too. They were from the rumors back in the day. The two origins for is the one they went with, and the other one was a lost demigod, which would have made more sense. If he's a demigod with being magical power type thing, it makes sense why he was able to take down Superman.
Right. So is he the main protagonist in that storyline, Doomsday?
Well, he's basically just kind of like a force of nature in like the death of Superman. Like he's marching toward Metropolis, and nothing can stop him.
Look at this, Jordan from Canada. Hey man, I love that your picture is now Coffee Crisp. Every week he changes into something different. Last week it was Butter Tarts. This week it's Coffee Crisp. Very Canadian. Have you ever had a Coffee Crisp before, Jared?
I have not. I don't even know what they are.
I'm gonna have to send you one. I'll have to get your address and send you some stickers and a little Canadian care package of all of our Canadian tasty candies that we have that you guys don't have.
I was like,
Coffee Crisp is like a chocolate bar. It's like a mocha chocolate bar. It's fucking tasty.
It's gonna be like a time I ordered some stuff from Hobby Link Japan at Christmas time.
Totally.
They put candies from Japan in there. It's like, damn it.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that. That's awesome. Jordan, what up, man? Nice to have you back. He says Death of Superman got me into comics too. That's awesome.
The issue number 400 was the very first issue of the Incredible Hulk I picked up. It came out around the same time.
Nice.
That's when they brought Marlo back to life, but she was a vegetable for a long time.
Oh, I don't remember that. Again, I was always, when I was reading comics, I was reading X-Men and Spider-Man. I never read Avengers. Like I knew who they were based on toys, based on trading cards, and like I said, I used to be obsessed with those Marvel handbooks. I even go back to the Marvel handbook days where it was like there wasn't pictures, it was just like all text. Like I remember having this little Marvel handbook from like, it was probably like 300 pages. It's all printed black and white on paper, like that, regular paper. It's not even like glossy fancy paper. Yeah. And like it was just like no pictures. There's a picture of Wolverine on the front, and then there's like a spread in the middle that has like black and white pictures of like a couple X-Men and Spider-Man and Hulk and shit. Like it was like nothing. So that's like my reference of like how I knew, Hulk, Captain America, Thor. But I was never really big fans of their books growing up. It never did it for me. So, but cool. So I do like Hulk, but again, most of my love for Hulk comes because I am a hardcore Wolverine fan, and obviously they have a pretty decorated past. So,
well, my introduction of the Hulk is the Smart Hulk. The
Smart Hulk, yeah.
So
I remember the toy of Smart Hulk from when I was younger, from the Hulk Toy Biz waves back in the day. Not like before Marvel Legends, back there was like a little Bruce Banner that you'd stuff in the inside of a Hulk figure that had like a hollow upper torso. Do you remember that one?
I remember that. Some of those figures still bring a big price on the secondary market.
Do they?
The Mecha Hulk, that's a high dollar figure.
I remember Mecha Hulk too.
Comes with
Yeah, they weren't the most articulated figures, but they were great, man. They were great. I'd love for them to do an Albert Wolverine, like a robotic Wolverine,
They've done some
when he was with Daisy May. I'd love that. That'd be sick.
It makes no sense why they don't, because they've done every other version of Wolverine.
I know. We're running out, but it's still funny because still most of my favorite Wolverine looks are not available yet. Like I really like that Spy Wolverine, the black and gold one from the old Toy Biz days.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the Albert one. I like the spacesuit one from the Dark Phoenix saga. Most of my love again for those costumes are all the ones that I bought the old Toy Biz toys of. So I was digging through knee pads yesterday trying to find better ones for Gambit, and I found these old. I think I was looking for them on the episode when I kit bashed him, but I couldn't find the ones I was looking for. But these are those old Build-A-Figure Hobgoblin ones. I have two left legs instead of a right and a left, but I think I can make it work. I don't think it's that big a deal.
Well, I like those.
But yeah, I had to shave it down quite a bit though, so I have this one.
Oh, the modern Hobgoblin. Is that the modern Hobgoblin?
It is, yeah, the Build-A-Figure one from the Daredevil and was it Daredevil? No, I don't think it was Daredevil. I think it was Daredevil. Mayday Parker one.
Oh, man, they need to redo Mayday on the
street. Oh God, I agree.
I don't know why they made her teen body anyway, because
I know. I think maybe at the time there wasn't a lot of options, right? I think at that time, they were still just working with the Enchantress, Scarlet Witch, and the Rogue or the Moonstone body. I think that was mostly all they had.
They should have used the Moonstone a lot more than what they did.
Yeah, the teen body didn't make any sense.
Because she was like 19, 20.
An adult. Yeah.
When she played Spider-Girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they did what they did, but there's honestly, as much as I am a big. I think Hasbro gets shit on a lot.
Yeah.
But I still think that what they're putting out is pretty fucking impressive, and that's not to say that they don't do things where I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Like that still happens very regularly with me.
Well, I think some of the issues they're having right now with scale is where they're not doing stuff in person anymore. They're not using physical models.
Yes, it's all done rendered 3D renders. Yeah.
So
yeah,
Psycho Man and High Evolutionary was too small.
Yes, they were.
They were never sent physical models like 3D print.
Right. Yeah, it was all just done through the renders. Yeah, it's a bummer when that happens.
So I think the factories are making stuff true 1/12 scale.
Right.
And Marvel.
But I mean, that's also a way to get everyone to just buy again too, right? All of a sudden, it's like your whole X-Men team's out of scale and they're all too small, and they're like, oh darn, looks like we're gonna have to redo these.
Well, let's
see. I'm at the point where like my collection is at the point where it's like it's almost where I need it to be. That like if I had to stop buying tomorrow, I would feel pretty good about where I'm at. Like, are there things missing? Yeah, there is, but there'll always be something missing, right? So very few parts of my collection are at the point where I could be like, I'm good with this,
Yeah.
Like my original trilogy, Star Wars, I'm pretty happy with where that's at. I don't think I mean, there are still things I'll buy, but like, I buy less and less Black Series these days, Same with like my movie Turtles. It's like I'm at the point where like really outside of Kino, Tatsu, and Vanilla Ice, I'm pretty much happy with what I got, but I would buy those three in a hot minute. But like I just don't, even without, I'm pretty content with where I'm at. So Do you buy any of that NECA stuff?
I do. I have some of the love the Defenders of Earth line, those superhero bodies.
Nice. So aren't those reusing the DC figures they made in the 2-packs with like Predator and stuff?
Yes, they are.
Nice. Those are great bodies.
And they listened to the complaints the fans had. They stopped painting joints.
Really? Oh, yeah. I noticed that with the turtle stuff too, actually.
They actually start molding the parts in the plastic.
I know. It's great. It's about time. Oh, hey, I didn't realize there's more people here. Here we go.
That's like
Marcus Yee. Oh, dang, I'm late. Hey, man, what's up? And Jordan says, have you guys heard of Doc Green run in Hulk Comics? It's a smart Hulk that wants to extinguish all other Hulks. Heard it was really good.
I wasn't really happy with it.
No?
Because he did just that. He got depowered all the other gamma-powered characters.
When was this from? Is this more of a recent run, or is this an older one?
It's an older one from a few years ago.
Okay.
Before they rebooted the Marvel Universe.
Okay. That would have been, what, 2015?
It was before Secret Wars, so probably about 215, 15, somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
because I think Secret Wars was 2016 or 2015 or somewhere in that. I stopped shortly after Secret Wars.
And it's like once they destroyed the entire Marvel universe and rebooted it, it's like I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, same here, man. That's what my biggest frustration with modern Marvel comics is. It's like they just start over on a dime like all the time, and it's like I miss the days of having like 400 episodes or 400 issues of X-Men, and they'll be like, see issue 25, and we're on issue like 150, and it's like
Incredible Hulk was in the 600s, and they
yeah.
Why?
I know. That's where I'm at too. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I understand not having people wanting to jump in. Just put on the top of your books.
Yeah.
If you're going to do like story arcs.
Yeah. Like, explain at the beginning or something, right?
Issue one in a like 5-part story arc or something like that on the top on the cover somewhere. That's what I loved about like DC Comics back in the day when they did Superman. It made it so easy to keep up with the storylines. They had that little triangle shield on the front covers of DC, or Superman only, actually. And they were numbered. So the story would it will be numbered of your reading order.
Oh,
and the story crossed over to another book, that triangle would be on the other book. Like during the
So it's easier to keep track of what you need to be reading if you want to stay up with the story then.
Exactly. Like on the Reign of the Superman, issue 46 Green Lantern, the storyline crossed over there, so they had the little triangle on it to pick that book up. I'm painting the red. Makes sense. I'm doing the red first since it's white, so it's easier to cover. Then I can go black and clean up the line.
Seems Jordan and Marcus both didn't realize we were starting early tonight, so thanks guys. Marcus E says Marvel really does reboot their universe compared to DC, at least. It comes with pros and cons. But didn't DC do that pretty hard reset not too long ago, New 52? That was a pretty that was a pretty substantial reboot, wasn't it? Like there was a lot of changes in that.
I actually stopped reading DC because of that.
I remember that was very divisive, and there was a lot of people who were like, I am not on board with this.
Oh, a lot of people were. They undid it partially
years
after with Rebirth.
Yep, I remember that. But I was just out of comics at that point. I was just getting out of comics at that point.
Yep.
I got back into comics and was reading the Brian Bendis all new X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, where Cyclops kind of becomes like a bad guy. Kind of becomes like the Magneto. And I was super into it. I was also really into his Superior Spider-Man storyline. But
he absolutely ruined Superman in his last run.
Did he? Brian Bendis did?
Yeah.
Well, he's so known for doing crazy drastic things, right?
Oh, it was bad.
Was it? I can see why a lot of people didn't like. I know there was a lot of people that didn't like
came back with the Rebirth storyline. They put the best team you could possibly put, Dan Jurgens and Breeding on Superman. Great books. Then for 1,000, they took them off the book and put Bendis on it, and he ruined it.
Weird. That's a weird thing to do.
It's like you put the team that's been working on Superman longer than anybody to put somebody that should not have ever been on the book.
I always feel like I always kind of compare him to I always think of his story similar to like episode 8 of Star Wars, where it's like I feel like somebody who doesn't know the characters start writing the characters, and you're like,
yeah,
this is not what this person would do. Like this is not an accurate depiction of this character.
Oh yeah, that was very much the case with and he really don't know how to do a family dynamic, because that's the time when Superman had Lois and Superman were with Jonathan as a little boy.
Oh, okay.
He does not know how to write a family unit
Well, he did like Miles too, though, right? He did Ultimate Spider-Man, which I thought was really good, and I did quite like the dynamic between Miles and his mom and dad, and even like Ultimate Spider-Man, like when it was young Peter Parker before that, I quite liked that too. But I think I'm going to open my new epoxy because that stuff I just mixed was dog shit. So I used it to fill the peg holes, but I can't do what I want to do with it. So I'm going to break out some black epoxy sculpt here.
Cool.
My fresh stock. It's not even that fresh. I think I've had it still for like 8 months, but I haven't opened it yet. So
yeah, the first thing he did was retcon the destruction of Krypton.
Destruction of Krypton?
Yep.
I feel like
he made a
isn't
brand,
that
he made
did
up
that
a,
never happen before him or something? Or
yeah, that's okay. He made up a brand new character who was actually the real cause of the destruction of Krypton.
oh, interesting. That's interesting.
And way more powerful than Superman.
Yeah, again, I just don't. The only DC character I like half know is I kind of know a little bit about Batman. Not even really though, but that's the only one that I could really probably talk about with confidence, knowing I know what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you more of a DC guy or are you more of a Marvel guy?
I like them both pretty well equally.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah. Have you been reading both for equal amounts of time?
Oh yeah.
Have you? Yeah.
Hulk and Superman are my main two.
Your two, yeah.
And I love Ghost Rider too, but
I also like Ghost Rider a lot.
Dan Ketch is my Ghost Rider.
Me too. I wonder if we'll ever get a Danny. I hope we do.
Well, they don't seem to even know Danny exists anymore. At least they'll have.
I feel like, especially with his anniversary, and I feel like especially because we probably won't get, what's his name? This Hellraiser, this crowdfunded one. I feel like there's a good chance they'll at least do some. The thing is even that retro one they just showed off it's starting to show up now. That kind of like the black and gray Johnny Blaze with the skeleton hands. I think that's pretty cool, but I just I'm kind of over that body now, and I'm just if I'm gonna rebuy another Ghost Rider, I want it to be Danny. If I'm gonna buy one more, then that's the one I want. So I'm gonna just wait and hope they eventually do it.
Well, they gave him, and what's crazy about the retro card one, the card art is Danny.
The Danny, yeah, I know.
And
it's based off of the old animated series, isn't it?
And they gave him Danny's color scheme.
I know they did. Fuckers.
It's not Danny.
Jordan Canada says
clearly Johnny Blaze because he's blonde.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's even the unmasked head, right? With the I don't know.
No.
I mean, I do like it. I think it looks good, but I'm just I can't justify, especially now with prices being what they are. I'm I have to be way smarter with what I'm buying. Says the guy who just literally won't stop buying action figures, but
I was going to buy it. I was going to skip it, but GameStop recently put it on sale for $22.99, so I ordered one. I actually ordered.
Oh, nice.
Ordered
That's
two,
awesome.
So I like that card art.
Yeah, the card art is pretty nice. I don't have space to display retro cards because if I did, I would be buying multiples.
It's kind of catch-22. I only have bought two because if I buy one, I got to pay the shipping. If I buy two,
yeah, good point. You don't have to pay shipping. Free shipping.
Then, plus I can put one on the wall and open one and have the
right.
I got the blue suited one with the bike. I can put that melting face on it.
Right, that's a good idea. There you go. You got it all figured out. I like the blue one with the bike. That's the one that's currently in my collection. Is the blue one. I ended up selling off my old Rhino Wave one for the blue one because I liked it better. But I like the black and gray color scheme better personally, but I just I just decided if I'm gonna buy one more Ghost Rider, I've already bought him twice. If I'm gonna buy one more, I'm gonna wait till we get proper Danny, and then I'll do it that way. So
what I would like to see them do, if they wanted the HasLab to succeed, each tier should have been another Ghost Rider.
I couldn't agree more. Would have been smart.
The
thing is even with giving us that early bird, I said this live when they first did it.
The early bird.
I feel like they should have just that should have been later because to me a human Robbie Reyes is only going to sell to people who would have already purchased the HasLab anyway. You know what I mean? It's to the general public, no one needs the Robbie Reyes figure. But like to the people who were excited about this program and backed it right away, those are the people that like you don't need to worry about. So like you don't need to sell them a character that they know. Like use something bigger and to push it, right?
If they wanted to like really push like an early bird that really got people going, the car should have been shouldn't have been more expensive than the His Tank anyway.
I agree.
Because it's not a licensed car. And they're not paying a license for every character they're pumping out. They're paying a flat license fee for Marvel.
Yeah.
So they're not getting the license fee from Dodge because they were too cheap to go to Dodge and ask them about it. Dodge would have jumped on that. So they got cars called the Hellcat and the Demon right now. They would have.
Oh, really? They would have loved that then.
Hell, they would have made a special edition Charger called the Hell Charger
to go with it. The HasLab Charger.
Like a Chevrolet makes the Bumblebee Edition Camaro.
Right. That's funny.
But still not even approaching Dodge. That set me up because I'm a car guy too.
Are you? Yeah. I'm not really a car guy, so that makes sense.
And it's like you went to Nike to secure the license for shoes, shorts, and tops and socks.
Under Armour, too, right?
For a line that's going to fail.
Yep. Yeah. For a line that won't even really be able to get off the ground, it's really only exclusive to Pulse, right? So it's not even going to have a wide release.
$50 a piece.
Yeah. Those are expensive. And I was definitely going to buy one just to see if how I liked it. But I just, at that price, I'm like, yeah. And like, again, like shipping to Canada from Hasbro Pulse is stupid expensive. It's so expensive.
Oh, I bet.
It's like $23 American to ship something at its cheapest. It's crazy. So I'm going to just catch up on the chats here really fast. Jordan from Canada says, what happened to Hulk? Growing up in the 80s, he was up there with Spider-Man. I feel he can be greater than he currently is. And Marcus E said, I think the Immortal Hulk storyline was his biggest thing in the last decade. That was a pretty gruesome one, wasn't it? Like, wasn't that one like pretty like violent and like I don't remember people talking about it.
It was like a horror comic.
Right. That's like, fun.
One issue, they had them all chopped up in pieces.
That's right. I remember that.
And he was still alive.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Hulk fans get disappointed by like MCU Hulk, which I get because I get that he's not what he is in the comics there, but maybe we'll get that eventually.
He is a pale comparison to the Smart Hulk from the comics.
Yes.
But
Nike Boy J says, what is up? Hey man, thanks for swinging by. Appreciate it.
In the comics, he's like one of the biggest incarnations of the Hulk. And he's small in the MCU as Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
He's much smaller. Did you watch any of the She-Hulk?
I did. I like She-Hulk quite a bit. So, are you an MCU fan or?
I like it. I liked it up till Endgame, and it's kind of yeah. Since then,
now it's kind of altering.
Yeah,
that's fair, man. I totally get that. It's like even like I do a podcast
I
with
don't think they know where they want to go with stuff.
I feel like they do, but I feel like they're so shy to say anything. But like they really need to start because I think they're starting to piss people off.
Yeah.
Like even my buddy Ryan from Mooseville Media that I do my weekly podcast with, where we talk about that sort of stuff. I messaged him the other day when the Ant-Man trailer came out, and I was like, "What'd you think of the Ant-Man trailer?" And he's like, "It's all starting to feel the same, man. It all just kind of feels like the same, and it's just kind of losing its luster." And I'm like,
"It's kind of funny." I actually had the opposite reaction when I saw Ant-Man. That's like one of the first things I've seen. It's like that's
really caught you.
I kind of like the looks of it because it's a little bit of throwback. I see what people are making memes too, like Shark Girl and
yes, from yes,
or Spy Kids.
Spy Kids, that's right. That's what it was. Yeah, I saw those two. That was pretty funny.
When I saw that, I can see it.
I can too, but that's okay. That's fine. I mean, the thing is it's not going to be like that. So it's like, it's just the imagery, right? So it's like I get it. So I mean, at the end of the day, like you know, it's like I said to him, is like it's really hard to top Endgame because you know that was a story that was like
It worked
built
10 years to get there.
exactly, and it's like right now they're just laying groundwork, which I get, but also it's like it's hard to go from that back into like that slow pace again. You know what I mean? Even though I know it took so long to get there, it's just like I don't know.
The things too, don't much care for too. That you got 60 plus years of history of the Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
And they're going to ignore all that and go to stories. They're pulling from stories from the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
I kind of see both sides on that one. So kind of my take on that is like I remember there was a long time where I was like I wanted it to be like what the comics were, you know? Like I wanted it to be those classic stories. I wanted it to play the same way. But then I kind of realized as it kept moving on that like it's kind of becoming its own little thing and like you know, it's fun not knowing what's going to happen. Like it's fun to speculate and be like, is this going to happen? Because in that story, this is what happens. And like, it's fun to be able to speculate on that sort of topic. But I just, yeah, I kind of decided at that point that like, to me, it's not really important if they like stick to the comics really, because you know, these characters have kind of become a thing of their own. And like, in my mind, you know, it's like Captain America, Chris Evans, Captain America is not like comic book Captain America. Like they're different characters, right? You know, same with Tony.
I saw him as the MCU started. I always saw it as more them telling the Ultimates.
Right. Yes. Ultimate style stories. Yes.
Yeah. That's why I always saw it from the get go for it. But I knew it's not going to be 616. It's like it's nearly impossible to do a storyline because it's.
I do think that newer MCU though is trying to do that though. Like I feel like, you know, even like watching Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, you know, that beginning scene where that like Shuma Gorath type character is rampaging through the city and everyone's just sitting around like watching it all happen. And I'm just this world is so accustomed to bad shit happening that they're not even fazed by it. They're at a party drinking and their Doctor Strange is fighting this huge monster and they're all like, yeah, let's go back to the bar and get a drink again. Like it's just they're so unfazed by everything that's going down. You know?
So I was so disappointed when they showed Scar at the end of She-Hulk though. I was like, that's not Scar.
See, to me, my biggest issue with that, and again, because I know a little bit about that storyline, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Like to me, I was just like, that's not the place really for that. Like, I know they set up that he was going, but it was just like it seemed like such an afterthought, and it was just like, you know, we're wrapping up the series, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, hey, I have a son, and they're like, cool, and then they just carried on, and it's like, oh, okay, like you know, you're gonna have to explain that part when you get to World War Hulk anyway.
Yeah, Scar is a Conan style looking character, and they introduced him looking more like he should be ordering a coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah, he's definitely has like kind of like a hipster kind of vibe to him.
It looks like a theme of like the hipster Hulk with the man bun like picture like.
Yes, totally. Well, didn't Amadeus Cho have a man bun in his Hulk form? I thought he did.
Oh, I don't know. When they turned him into Hulk, I thought they run the character.
I didn't care for it.
Not everybody needs to be a Hulk. Not everybody needs to be a Venom.
I agree.
He was a guy described it the best way I've ever heard somebody describe Amadeus Cho. He was the MacGyver of the Marvel Universe. And
how so? Sorry, I'm not super familiar with him before he was a Hulk.
He's a super genius, and he can take junk and make something like build anything out of junk.
Gotcha.
He could do like advanced like mathematics and stuff in his head on the fly and figure things out. And
okay.
He great character. He's like one of the characters too. I realized too, the Hulk was always even when Banner was hulked out, he's actually taking an account never to hurt anybody. He was actually aware all the time, and when he's doing stuff, it even though it looked like carnage, but he was actually doing stuff to protect the bystanders and everything.
The people around. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's pretty fun.
They didn't understand the people writing Amadeus when they made Amadeus Joe into Hulk. They didn't understand the Hulk either. It's like, oh, it's fun being the Hulk. That's not what the whole point of being the Hulk is. It's a tortured character.
It's fun to play this character. It's good.
I like having all these powers, and it's fun being the Hulk. Like that's one thing they didn't. The writer didn't get to with Bruce Banner. It's like there's a reason why Banner turns into the Hulk and he's savage.
Right.
He
Yes,
has
that's
massive trauma, psychological trauma. His father was one of the most abusive men in the world and murdered his mother in front of him and still didn't go to jail and got to keep Bruce, was custody of Bruce.
I didn't know that. I didn't know any of that story. See, I didn't know that.
He was a brutal child abusing murderer.
That's crazy.
And
is his dad still like relevant in storylines, or is that like kind of like an old story that told and is done now?
Oh, that's actually one of the reasons why they explain why the Hulk can see astral forms. He's haunted by the ghost of his father.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why he can see Doctor Strange in his astral form.
Interesting. I don't think I knew that he could do that either, but I'm going to catch up on some of these. I started catching up on these comments, and then we just keep talking. Let me see here. Darth Gutierrez says, DC over Marvel for me, but Marvel is also tight. Let me see here. Marcus Z said, I remember the Engine of Vengeance Hell Charger was based on the Dodge Charger 1969. Was stylized to avoid licensing issues. Yeah, I assume they just didn't want to pay Dodge, probably, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, Jordan says, interesting. Hate to see these campaigns not meet their goals. Yeah, man, I hear you. I that's where I was kind of going with the Galactus talk. Was like, it's a bummer that we're not going to get to see all these potentially dope Robbie Reyes, picks. You know, like it's such a bummer.
Car was $300. Actually, a licensed Dodge Charger, and all the tiers were Ghost Riders. And make the early bird Mephisto. I would have backed it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
You'd think that. I mean, the thing is the more that they do these, the more they'll learn too, right?
I mean, they didn't even occur to them to make the tiers Ghost Riders.
They should have. That should have been a given, especially because it's themed on his anniversary.
Yeah, I think.
And Robbie's like the newest version of Ghost Rider, so it's like, you know,
they should just go ahead and show all the tiers right up front.
I agree. I don't know why they don't show all the tiers up front. Like, talk about finding ways to get people to talk about.
I think they would. People probably would have stopped on Galactus if they showed that stupid Dr. Doomhead.
Oh yeah, I don't care for the Doomhead. I mean, it looks good, but I don't get it. So
no,
it must be something. It must be like a deep cut.
They could have done.
Dark Gutierrez.
Could have done another Herald. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Would have been good to have more Heralds. I think that they should just. I feel like with the stretch goals with HasLab, they should really stick to like figures. Like if, like, you know, and they kind of said that with the Charger itself. Like, he comes with everything it needs to come with, right? Like, you know, to me, flaming wheels and flaming effects, that should never be a stretch goal. That should just be part of it. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be you're paying that much for something, it should be decked out to the tits. It needs to be fully decked out, right? So Darth Gutierrez says MCU and Hulk, no respect, my opinion. Yeah, that's fair, man. I get it. I know a lot of people aren't happy with Hulk. I don't even really love Hulk in the MCU. He's fine, but whatever. Marcus, you said same. I wasn't fully impressed with the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania trailer, but holding my judgment. There we go. DCEU saw the MCU success, and the DCU tried to play catch up. To me, it seemed that the DCEU tried to accomplish what the MCU did in half the time. Yeah, I agree with that. I actually was having a discussion with some of my local friends about the recent news about James Gunn and the producer guy, I can't remember his name, kind of taking the lead on DC. And what I had said to that group was like, Oh, my camera shut off.
No.
Oh, I'll fix it in a minute. I remember like what I kind of said to them in that group was it's just like at the end of the day, it's not going to really matter because it seems like whoever is taking this role is not going to get final say. Like it still seems like the executives are going to have final say. Like they're all still like James Gunn and this other guy are still going to have to report to this other, to the head people, right? And it's like until they can just let, especially someone like James Gunn, whose ideas are not always the most conventional, like if he's going to have to go through executives to get his vision on the table, it's just going to take away from it. Like they need to find someone that they can trust to just give the ranks over to and just let them have it. I mean, at this point, could it get any worse?
I still like to go see Black Adam. It looks like it might be pretty good.
It seems like the reviews on it are relatively mixed. Like I see some people who say some good, some bad. I hear some people say it's kind of shit, and So I like The Rock personally. So like I don't know. Like I don't really have I don't even know Black Adam as a character. So I don't know how.
The pro critics just trashed the movie. It's like
yes, but I don't really take their word for anything because they generally don't care about superheroes.
I heard like one of the reasons why they didn't like the movie. Well, there's two reasons why they don't like this movie. One of the reasons they were saying is like they didn't put any politics in it, or they're in the Middle East. It's like it's a superhero movie. It's a statement.
Yeah. We don't need that. We don't need that in it though. That's the thing that ruins movies.
And two. It's kind of continuing the Snyderverse,
right?
By bringing back Henry Cavill, and they're pissed off because they don't like the fact that people listen to fans.
So let me ask you, as a Superman fan, do you like Henry Cavill as Superman?
Henry Cavill is great as Superman, but he has yet to have a good movie for Superman.
Right? Did you not like Man of Steel? Because even as a non-DC fan. I actually don't mind Man of Steel. I think it's pretty good. As somebody who doesn't really know the lore of Superman, so let's call me an outsider.
With Man of Steel, it's an okay movie, but don't let they've jumped the gun and made one of his premier villains the very first villain. I thought that was dumb.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Personally, I think what they should have started with was do the Parasite. Parasite.
I'm not familiar with that character, so.
He is a character that would basically steal Superman's powers and weaken him. Makes him vulnerable. Like they could actually start the movie out because before Superman, Gotham was Metropolis was very much like Gotham, crime-ridden with the crime syndicate, ruling like Metropolis. He could have come in, start cleaning things up, and have like the crime not crime syndicate. No, what is that mob? Crap! I've been having memory issues since I've had that sepsis stuff.
Oh, that's not good.
But there was a mobster group in
Metropolis.
So they could actually have him be cleaning up Inner Gang. That's it, Inner Gang.
Inner Gang, okay.
And have him start cleaning up Inner Gang, trying to find weaponry to fight Superman. Created an accident. And the guy became that's Rudy could be like a janitor in Star Labs, which is basically what he was. And he was an accident became the Parasite. He starts zapping, sucking life force from people. Then he's Superman. He's like a all you can eat buffet. But have a character that would actually take away Superman's
some of his strength,
and weaken him. And
that's a good idea.
And build from that, and you could actually do an in credit scene, have like Inner Gang trying to buy weapons in the back street, and have it be like Desaad from Apocalypse. Build up Dark Side.
Yeah, that would have been smarter. I feel like, but again, and I feel like Dark Gutierrez said it perfectly. Is like they were just like, man, Marvel's been kicking ass for the last 5 years. Let's do that in the next 2 movies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, that's the best thing about the Marvel stuff is like that they took the time to do it right, to do it at the right speed and to not rush it. And it's like, there are lots of times in the Marvel movies where I was like, man, I wish they would give us more. But now, in retrospect, I'm grateful that they didn't, because that's how they work. Like, they work because they don't feel like they're forced. It's not like
Iron Man 1 is
here's the Justice League. You know, Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, and then these other four fuckers are just here. Like, we don't know them. We don't give a fuck. No one cares. Like,
and,
you know what I mean? It's just.
And how in the hell do you cast what's his name? Aquaman.
Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa, and not make him Lobo.
Oh, good point.
But he plays the character like Lobo.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Even I understand that reference because, you know, I actually know who that is.
The main man, the Bastage.
Oh, why is this not working? I'm trying to get my my overhead camera to work again. Bear with me here.
That's right. I'm fixing up these expensive figures we're having to buy now, Marvel Legends, like price points, and this siren figure here, when I did the review on this one, and it actually had a big air bubble in the leg.
Oh, really?
I cut it out, so I'm filling in like the hole.
Interesting. I haven't seen that before.
I've had it happen a few times. So my Emma Frost from the Hellfire Club, she had one of those.
Oh, really?
I had to swap out one of her legs with a.
That's annoying, especially for an exclusive box set figure. That's frustrating.
The Retro Card at Wasp uses the same legs, so I was just painting them up white.
That's annoying that you had to do that, though.
Oh yeah, I was like, people's like, "Oh, send it back to Hasbro." No, they will not.
Well, the thing is that they can't. That's just it. They won't send you what you need, right? They don't send you what you.
Yep,
that's the problem.
They will send you something of equivalent value.
Yes, exactly.
Equivalent value to them.
Very frustrating.
I've had an issue with that with the Juggernaut Colossus 2-pack. And I got it from them, and my Juggernaut had like glue spilt all over his chest.
Oh.
Run down the chest. Oh, you got echo.
So, I'm echoing. There you go.
Yeah, had glue running down his chest, and it even looks like they tried to scrape it off at the factory. I ordered it from Hasbro Pulse, so it was straight from them.
That's annoying, man. See, that's it. So here in Canada, one of the things they've recently done, I'm so behind on the chat, but I just keep coming up with things to say. One of the things that they've done at Toys R Us recently is they've made all Marvel Legends final sale now. So it's like, even with the windowless packaging, if you get it home and it's like fucked up, too bad for you.
Or figure swap.
Or figure swap too.
Well, I guess that's why they're doing that now, because
I know, but that's not our fault. We shouldn't have to suffer because of that.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's a bummer.
That's part of why they implemented that policy, is because people were figure swapping.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just gonna read some more of these comments here. Honestly, hope Ant-Man learned from Thanos and does the old up the ass trick with Kang. I think someone recently asked Paul Rudd about that, and he tried to talk himself out of it. So, Marcus E said Scar's introduction felt like a throwback to soap operas and their antics. And Amadeus Cho didn't have a man bun as Hulk. Oh, okay. So I thought he did, but maybe I guess I'm wrong. Surprised Rick Jones hasn't been introduced in the MCU.
Right.
He was a Hulk at one point too, right?
Yeah, he's interacted with every character in the Marvel Universe. He's been Captain America's sidekick. He was a replacement Bucky at one time.
Oh, weird.
So it makes no sense why we don't have a Rick Jones figure.
That's weird. Marcus G says making Amadeus Cho into a gamma-based hero was an odd decision in my opinion. Kind of takes away from who he was. I always thought of him as one of the smartest dudes in the Marvel Universe.
They turned him. A friend of mine's fiance called him Bro Hulk.
Okay. They called him Bro Hulk?
No, she called him Bro Hulk because he completely changed his personality from being what he was to more like a bro, like a dude.
Right. Yeah, I always whenever they do weird stuff like that, I just find that's way more like common in modern comics now, right? It's not as prevalent in older stuff anyways.
Well,
Southtown Paint Apps says, "What up, bros? Love both y'all channels on customs and mods." Thanks, man. Do you know is
thank you.
Southtown Paint Apps one of your regulars, Jared?
Yeah, he's been on the channel before.
Nice, that's awesome.
Well, and everybody, be sure to subscribe to the Customs by Matthew. He does great customizing content.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for saying that, and thank you for that. Like I said, that video was dope today. As soon as you posted it, I started seeing people subscribe. You have a really great following. Like mine's still very much, in its infancy stage. I get excited when I have like, 8 or 9 people in here like we have right now. But I've been in yours, pop by yours a couple times, and I see there's like 20, 25 people sometimes. I'm just like, whoa, holy shit! There's a pretty good little turnout here. So it's nice that you have that. So
I do exactly like you do too. I try to go through all the chat. I
well, it's because it involves them, and then
Yeah.
they want to actually be here and have conversations. And like to me, the customizing part's fun, but like the part I like about it is like I get to talk to my regulars.
And I get tired of all these other YouTubers. They will only reply to super chats.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you got other people in the audience. Don't be kind of well.
I think I need to look at it, take it into perspective. Like if you have like an audience of like 200 people, there's no way you're gonna like even right now. There's so much chat going. I'm so far behind.
Yeah.
But like I just saw something from my friend Moose Milk. Oh my god, that wasn't glue. Sorry. Promote your juggernaut on his chest.
They got it back.
Oh, what up? Charlie's here. Hey, Charlie. How's it going, man?
I told him, just give me a refund. I'm not going to take 5 peg warmers for
Yeah, really. Let us send you all of our junk that we can't sell. Here you go. That's great.
The lady completely understood. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to take a gamble. You send me some random crap. She said, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, at least they understand and they're fine with it. But Darth Gutierrez says, I like Cavilla's Superman. I think he hasn't had a good movie script or a good plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It seems like he's overall, for the most part, like a Superman. Like, I know for me, when I think of Superman, I think of Henry Cavill. So,
and I gotta love the fact that he's a geek too. He paints Warhammer miniatures.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, I knew that. And he like builds computers and shit too, doesn't he?
Yep.
So, Marcus Hughes says Intergang are the main antagonists in season 3 of Superman and Lois. Pretty hyped. Huh, that's cool. I heard that show is kind of hit or miss though. Have you watched that one?
I've watched some of it.
Hit or miss?
Hit or miss. It's
hit or miss.
I'm not big on like the drama stuff, like the high school drama stuff things they do, or with the kids.
Yeah, that's so like that's a lot of it is just being CW though, right? Like
very much so.
I remember when I was working on the Brainiac figure for Jesse Rath, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna watch like one episode or of Supergirl to get a feel for Brainy as a character, which one should I watch? So he gave me the one where there's like a bunch of different versions of Brainy from different universes. And I was like, as much as I can appreciate what this is trying to do, it is just not for me. It is just way too like corny superhero kind of stuff, right? So Moose Milk says Matt loves DC. Yeah, man, I do.
So I love the Arrowverse when it first started, when it was darker and grittier.
Yes. Yeah.
Then when it got to be campy, it lost.
That's what I don't like. I don't like. There's a difference between Marvel comedy that like pokes fun at itself and campy comedy that I just can't do. I don't like it. So, Marcus E says, "Who would y'all have as Lex Luthor? Jesse Eisenberg isn't working for me." I don't really think I can answer that because I just don't know the character well enough. But what about you? What do you think?
Luthor. Eisenberg was a horrible choice. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that choice. But,
yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Even as someone who doesn't know the character, I could tell he was.
Luthor is not only a mentally intimidating, he's physically intimidating. He should be somebody like. He should be an alpha, like put it like he should be a Chad or type person, like not, but not an Eisenberg.
Right.
You would need somebody on par, like physical stature with like Cavill, but just
Is he really that physically intimidating? I don't think I realized
no,
that. I always assume he's just like some dude in a chair who like is rich and
he's just as physically fit as an Olympic athlete.
Interesting. I don't think I knew that. I don't feel like he's ever really been portrayed that way.
Modern thing. The older Luthers back in the day was a big fat dude, but
really?
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that either.
He's like an older, like ever since he in the 90s, after like post crisis, he actually died of cancer caused the kryptonite ring. He cloned
crazy
his body. He transferred his brain into a clone body and said it was his son.
Oh, weird. So did it like have to like grow up in the comics and then eventually became just like another Lex Luthor?
It was fully formed like a
Oh, it was okay.
20s something body, like late 20s, early 30s.
Gotcha. I gotta say, this black epoxy sculpt is messy as fuck. Oh my god.
Oh, is it?
Especially because I use rubbing alcohol all the time to smooth everything out, and it's just like leaving like black, like fucking like tar all over everything. I mean, it's just, I'm sure it's fine, but it's just like.
I picked up some of this stuff. It's Green Stuff's sculpting Vaseline.
Oh, nice. That's to help you kind of smooth everything into each other?
Yep.
Nice.
The thickness sculpting, you just use water, but with everything else, you got to have some. And it keeps it from your tools, and it smooths it out.
Oh, nice. Actually, Draven, my buddy Draven Arts, he uses Vaseline, just regular Vaseline, when he sculpts with his epoxy sculpt, and it works really well. I haven't tried it myself, but looks like it works well. And he said it works. It does the trick. So
I just got. I was ordering some stuff from Green Stuff and
Green Stuff World, yeah.
So I made an order. I got the epoxy sculpt.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm fortunate enough to have a local hobby store that carries almost everything I need. The only thing I can't get there is I can't get my P3 paints, which I love, and I can't get Procreate. I can get Green Stuff, but I can't get Procreate.
I like working in Procreate, but getting it out of the plastic,
dude. Okay, so here's my trick. Okay, so it works really good. So I always find that the first time you take it out of the plastic, it's fine. It's any time after that, it's not fine. So you get parchment paper, like baking parchment paper.
Okay.
And you roll it in, you take the whole wrapper off and you roll it in parchment paper, and parchment paper doesn't stick at all, just comes right off.
Wow.
Yeah, it works really, really good. I've been doing it with my Green Stuff since, I don't know, it's been a little bit now, like probably a year now. But it like literally, like, have you used Green Stuff before? You have, right?
Yeah, it's super sticky. I got this one.
So I'll show you.
I bought the kind that's in the Laffy Taffy roll where it's like
literally just peels right off, no issue, no nothing.
Sweet.
I know. Even the green one that's really sticky, doesn't even stick to the paper at all.
That's an awesome tip, man. Thank you.
It's very helpful. So you have to peel the whole plastic shit off right off the bat, and then I just roll it up in a piece of parchment paper. Not wax paper, has to be parchment paper, because parchment paper doesn't stick. And it works really, really well. And I've been doing that for a while now, so it's helpful. Jordan from Canada says, I would have loved a 3-part Death of Superman movie where second part Doomsday runs through Booster Gold in the Justice League.
It just boggles my mind. They went from Man of Steel to Death of Superman that fast.
Yeah, I know. But again, though, right? They're just trying to get through it. Like, the decision was made at that point to play catch up rather than to try to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I did like the Suicide Squad, though. I like James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I watched it, and I didn't watch it until way after, but I also really liked Wonder Woman like a lot. Way more than I thought I was going to.
I love the first one. It was
the
really
first one. I never watched the second one because
I haven't
everyone
watched
told me
it
it was
either.
so
I just
bad.
saw so much negativity about the second one. It's like,
Yeah.
But
I did watch this. I watched it this year. I think I watched it. It was the first time I watched Wonder Woman, and I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome.
My only gripe is a minor. Well, I got two gripes with the first Wonder Woman movie. When she's walking through like no man's land, like when they're shooting at her.
Yep.
They could have worked in a little bit of the original Wonder Woman theme when she's doing that.
Just okay, that's fair.
Stylized a little bit like the old theme music.
Like the old TV show, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'd have been cool. I'd have been down with that. I probably wouldn't have recognized it myself because I don't know it. But again, I know absolutely nothing about Wonder Woman, so I just know that her name's Diana.
It'd just be like a little nod to like the
yes, totally,
and not exact replicating the music, just
just something like the kind of how they did with Professor Xavier in Multiverse of Madness, right? Where it's kind of like
perfect. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, that would be cool for sure. There's a question from Jordan from Canada. Collector Express. How would you categorize the main differences between Marvel and DC? I would say highlights. It's big two more often, while Marvel is a universe of cameo and a sea of characters.
Is the comic book classification or the movies?
I would assume he means the comic books, but
I
feel like it's hard to I feel like it's probably easier to compare the movie universes between the two than it is the comic versions, no?
Well, with comparing, I really like how they actually handle the Justice League and Justice Society and stuff with DC. They really gave the characters life and like stories.
Right.
I can't really say too much because I didn't really read much Avengers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess, I didn't really either, so I probably...
but I read a lot of...
No help.
Like, DC had all these great big arcs, too. They were, like, something like the first ones to do, like, the full year arcs. Like, 52 was a great story.
Okay. That goes through... Like, when you say long arcs, you mean, like, story arcs that last over, like, more than just an issue or two?
Right. 52 was actually a mega series where... There were 52 issues, one issue a week, 52 weeks.
Damn, that's crazy.
And it was
that's commitment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. I'm trying to do my sculpt on this guy in like pieces. Instead of doing the whole arm, I'm just doing like the upper arm, and then tomorrow I'll do the shoulder and the lower arm. I realized that really there's not a whole lot of sculpt on this Age of Apocalypse Gambit. You know, he's got some detailing on his arms onto his shoulders, and then his boots, and then other than that, it's all like I have overlay pieces for them, so I don't really need to do anything more. So like this guy's gonna be finished in fucking no time.
But Marvel did have some good storylines too, though. Like I did remember like the storyline, that big arc where they pulled Magneto pulled the adamantium out of Wolverine. That was a good run.
Oh yes, I remember that too.
That's just an iconic scene too. Him just ripping.
Yes, it is.
The adamantium out of him.
I'm a big, aside from being a big Wolverine fan, I'm a big Magneto fan as well. So
there's always like
both those characters.
Worst character ever to go against Magneto.
Yeah, true that. Second
be
like Iron Man too, right? Like
yeah,
Iron Man will get his shit fucked up. What else we got? Demonic Vavala says to Collector Express # the Juggernaut. I don't know if that is
that's Hulk Smash Customs, Dominic.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, man. Hey, what up? Thank you for stopping by.
That's a little joke, inside joke, where we did the 2000 sub giveaway.
Yep.
You had to do like the # the Juggernaut, like and do like the random picker. You actually got a picker in StreamYard where you can actually pick comments.
Oh, cool.
And about after we already did the giveaway, about an hour, we several of us were just other friends like that came in on the chat. We're just chit chatting. People were still commenting #Juggernaut after the giveaway was already done. But, sorry.
And now it's just lived on and is continuing.
Yeah. Every now and then somebody will just like #the Juggernaut. Really cool, like KO Juggernauts on the 80th Armory Hulk's body.
Yeah. I haven't bought one, but they look awesome. Do you prefer it over the Build-A-Figure?
I do. I like it. It's scale wise.
Yeah.
It's more articulated. It's got where he's got the butterfly joints and.
Yeah, the butterfly joints are what kind of sell me on it, but I haven't gotten one. But I've considered. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet.
He's so cheap too.
He's so what? Cheap? Yeah. He's only what, $30?
Last one I got was like 18 US. Like it is running a sale.
Yeah, that's a great price. Yeah, that's a really good price.
So I got one of those just I want to see if a friend of mine actually, his wife makes she's got all the casting equipment she makes like custom dye and stuff for.
Oh, nice.
So she's got a pressure pot, vacuum chamber, and all that stuff, and he's got one of the.
Oh, cool.
See if she can cast the KO Juggernaut feet.
Oh, good idea.
These actually add height to a Native Anniversary Hulk. Adds about like a 1/4 inch height to them.
The boots? Because the boots are aren't they like just modified Juggernaut boots to fit the Hulk body? Because I know Juggernaut's a single jointed knee, but I think Hulk's a double, isn't it?
Yep. Now this is a modified lower leg for Juggernaut to work with the knees on the 80th Anniversary Hulk style body.
Right.
These are actually shorter shins than on the
Build-A-Figure.
The Build-A-Figure. Well, on the 80th Anniversary Hulk, the shin is actually quite a bit shorter than on the Hulk, but the shoe is bigger than the feet. So when you put these feet on one of these legs, it adds a lot of extra height to.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I don't think I knew that. I wish I had more uses for that Hulk body. I have a Hulk body that's just chilling in my fodder drawer that I hope one day someone will ask me to do a figure that I can utilize it on, but
there is one issue I ran into. I've bought a bunch of these and not had a problem. I had the very first one do it. It happened on Shardimus when he did his review on it.
Yep.
He broke the ball joint stem that goes across from the side.
Okay. Yep.
He broke it right there, and I had one of the ones I had for my parts.
Do they seem weak? Do they seem flimsy, or is it just? Do you think it was just like a freak?
It was I think they're freak random things.
Yeah.
These are constructed differently from the original ones.
Right.
And if there's a burr or anything like that, I was basically trying to move the thigh rotation. And it was a little bit stuck, and I put too much torque on it, and it popped it.
And it popped, yeah.
So I fixed it. I put a gnarled nail in it and glued it back together, and it's back together. It's fine. But
oh, okay. Perfect. So then that'll hold. That'll do.
So it'll be fine, but I want to get some more of those boots. I don't want to keep buying KO Juggernauts just to buy boots.
Just for the boots, yeah. It gives you the extra height.
If his wife can do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I can cast somewhat. I don't have a pressure pot. That's so I have mixed.
That's the thing. If you want consistent casts, you kind of need to have a pot.
Yeah.
Unless you're okay with doing the work to fill it all in yourself and shit like that. Yeah. That's good.
But
it's a pain in the ass, man. It's such a pain. I've attempted casting twice. Both times turned out to be total busts. I think I got one usable part or 2 usable parts. It was a drag.
It's if you don't get your mix right and the things don't turn out with that Lord Pumpkinhead. I had some of these Smart Hulk heads. I didn't. They're you can hold them, touch them, and they're not going to lose their form, but they're squishy.
Right.
Not supposed to be.
That is not the way they're supposed to be.
Let's see. This is one.
Charlie says, remember how a couple weeks ago we were talking about junk food and I said I wanted cake, so I said I need to get Tinder again. Well, I got something better than Tinder. Let's see if we're his. We'll get to that comment when we get there. Moose Milk says he's obsessed with the Witcher video game too. If he's talking about me, that is so inaccurate. I'm going to skip through some of these. Sorry, guys. There's just too many to catch up on. Moose Milk says first 2 seasons of VERO was so fucking good.
Yep.
Marcus Yee says Titus Welliver is the Lex Luthor in the upcoming season of Titans, and I think he's a good fit. Maybe a bit older, which works in that universe, but I think he's a good fit. I don't know that I don't even recognize that name.
I don't know him either.
Nike Boy says, what, Charlie, did you get Grinder? And Charlie says, Nike Boy, no Grinder, but I did get a consensual blowjob from a lady. Okay.
Okay.
Moose Milk says, okay, back to work. Just wanted to say hi. Hey, man, you're probably gone now, but thanks for stopping by. Southtown Pain App says, so that new DD is on the first appearance Spidey buck, but personally, for me, it's kind of short height-wise. Would have loved the Vulcan buck, in my opinion. I don't think it's on the first appearance. I think it's on the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure.
He's actually smaller than Renew Your Vows.
Is he?
Yep.
Interesting. He looks like the Renew Your Vows because he has the musculature on the leg, and the first appearance Spider-Man doesn't.
His arms and legs are actually smaller than
Interesting.
Renew Your Vows.
Are you going to pick up that? Are you picking up that pack? That 3-pack?
Actually, a friend of mine's getting the pack, and I'm just getting the Electra.
Oh, Electra, nice, yeah. I have that customs I made on the custom I made on the V Toys body, so I'm just gonna roll with that because I'm pretty happy with it. Mm-hmm. I also feel like I feel like the Vulcan body is a bit too big for Daredevil. But
I like that armored look, the black and red armored
the
one.
Red and black. Yeah, I like that one too. I just wish he had more articulation. I understand why he didn't, because like the shoulder armor is like, oh, my camera felt turned off again. I can see why they didn't. Like, I understand why they didn't, but like with the shoulder pads and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wish it would have had better articulation. It's like one of the few Daredevils that like I don't have him in my display, but he's on display at my work. Like I keep him in my office.
Yeah, I ended up buying two of those. I got one on like bill, and it's like,
did you have attachment to the old 5-inch Toy Biz one at all? Do you remember that one?
I don't have attachment to it, but I always liked the street level characters a lot in Marvel.
Yeah, me too.
Always my go-to. That was my disappointment with Shang-Chi. I wish they could have just like stuck with the comic books and made him a street level character and not be a big save the world type thing. And
yeah, me too. That'd have been cool. Then you would have been more likely to get like a good like martial arts style movie, right?
Right. They could have did something similar in the comic books because his father was head of an assassin organization. When his first mission to assassinate somebody, he betrays his father, goes to MI6 and works with them to help try to take down the crime organization. Yeah. He could have been like a James Bond or a Jason Bourne.
Kung Fu James Bond.
Yeah.
That would have been very cool.
And
I really liked the Shang-Chi movie. I thought it was really great. I thought they did a good job. The only thing I didn't like about it, like I wished that the end fight scene was more in vein with the rest of the fight scenes of the movie. Like the bus scene, I think, is one of the best fight scenes in the MCU. And then like I love that building fight where they're on the scaffolding on the side of the building, super high up in the air. Like I fucking love that. Like I wish the ending would have incorporated more elements from those two fights earlier in the show than just like mystical and dragons and shit like that, which I didn't love.
We were talking about with Wonder Woman, the first one earlier, like the end fight scenes was one of the worst things about the movie. It's like the GI fight.
Yeah.
It's like, you had such a great movie, then you like had to like do.
Yeah, man. Interesting. I didn't know that the I have to take a closer look at that. I guess I didn't really look that closely because I saw the Daredevil and I was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't need it. So maybe that's why I just didn't notice. But Marcus E says, I forgot where I heard this, but I remember someone saying how DC had characters that were written like they were gods among society, while Marvel wrote characters who were almost cursed with theirs. Oh, with their powers.
Yeah,
yeah, I can see that. Is there any DC? I'm sure there's got to be a couple DC characters that have that too, though. Like I feel like that can't just be exclusive to.
A lot of the mystical side characters are like that. The Dr. Fate, Etrigan, the demon.
Yep.
Gone, the form of man. Behold, the demon Etrigan.
I know that name. That was there was a really good Etrigan custom in Secret Santa a couple years ago, last year. It was awesome. It was really good. Chris Serta did it. It was really good. Let me see. What else we got? Thank you. Charlie says, thank you. I've been saving that for over a week. I wanted to share my success with everyone. Good job, Charlie. Good job, man. Glad you stopped by tonight. Everyone's congratulating him.
On Instagram, I sent you a screenshot of the 3-pack next to the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, yeah. That's so weird. I wonder why they did that. Yeah, it's weird, though, because
he's got the toe hinges. Therefore, you think it's the same. He's got the same feet. I think he's got the same
feet. Yeah, but those aren't the first appearance. I need to look now. I can't see it on my camera because I can't bring it with me. But like the first appearance, Spider-Man doesn't have musculature. I mean, it does, but it's not defined.
It looks like it's an all new body.
That's so weird, especially with them upscaling everything else. I wonder why. For anybody who wants to see, I don't know if you can see or not, but.
Yeah, he's like top of his head is like the top of Spider-Man's eyes.
Yeah, eyes. Yeah. That's weird.
His limb.
That's a weird decision. Yeah, the limbs looks not. It's not good. It's not good. Marcus E says casting is becoming the bane of my existence. He also says I regret not getting the 3-pack Daredevil. I consider getting it for a custom Flash, but I don't know if the red is too dark.
Ooh, that would make a cool Flash body.
Yeah, at least you'd have like the articulation you need to get him into crazy running poses.
And actually, articulate Flash could actually pose like he's running.
Somebody tell McFarlane about that. Marcus said, I'm mixed with Shang-Chi. The fact that it's an Asian superhero is rose-colored glasses for me. I enjoyed it. I personally wish there were Asian superheroes who weren't martial artists or the brains. Yeah, that would be great. Well, that's like, I know she's not really a superhero, but Awkwafina I loved Awkwafina in Shang-Chi. It was awesome.
Well, the Shang-Chi originally started as Marvel ripping off Bruce Lee.
Yes, that's right. Way back in the day.
So he was...
Jordan from Canada says, I love what Shang-Chi did to empower the Asian community, similar to Black Panther. And Marcus says, I'm all cut up. Marcus says, oh, that is weird. Spider-Man shouldn't be taller than Daredevil. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. That is weird.
They should be on par size-wise.
Yeah, I agree. I always found Spider-Man to be a little more slender, like lanky in his proportions than Daredevil. I always thought of Daredevil as being more like an athletic type, where Spider-Man I always considered to be more like long and lanky.
Yeah.
You know, not a ton of muscle definition, but so I did these boots. I guess you can't see because
definitely should be like a gymnast proportions.
Yes, I agree. Definitely agree. So I need to make sure that this my camera is. Oh shit!
Did it overheat or anything?
Yeah, it keeps overheating. It does this a lot, but it's like when I'm streaming, it overheats and it shuts off. But I'm like, it's meant for streaming. It's not like I'm streaming for like 20 hours. It's like, you know what I mean?
Well, you got them in 2 hours.
I know, that's what I mean. And it shuts off all the time. It always does this to me. And it's plugged in, so it's not like I'm running out of batteries. But I'm afraid to touch my white camera with my black fucking epoxy hands, because like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch the battery on it, which means I'm gonna have to clean these hands off because I don't want to get shit. I already got shit on it. See? God damn it.
That's when I'm working on the O-rings and the heads. That after glue sets, and I drill them out a little bit. Black dust everywhere.
That's funny. I
They
should
look
put
like,
some gloves on.
they look like they've been working in a coal mine.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now with this black epoxy sculpt. Feeling like I've been working in a coal mine all night. I just got to change my battery out here so I can show off what I did so far.
I grew up in a coal mine town.
Did you?
Those guys, you gotta admire the dedication the guys got. They come out. All you see the whites of their eyes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, I used to work, I know it's not exactly the same, but it's like any of those kind of like trades jobs like that. It's like, man, I have a respect for anybody who's willing to do that kind of work because it's just not easy work.
And you're
it's demanding.
You're in space.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like your working conditions of like where you are is like terrible. Like it's so fucking bad.
You're in places that's not even like 3 feet tall. Like you have parts. It takes them down there. You got to lay back and just.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so here I'm gonna try to get this on again. Let's do this. Let's add this back
on. 3-pack regret again. 3-pack for the flash, but I don't know if this red is too dark. Definitely, what you could do is dry brush a brighter red over top of it. So
yeah, that would work.
Base as your foundation.
Yep, that would work well. Would do.
It's weird. Spider-Man should be taller than Daredevil, and you're all up to date on those.
Marcus, he says I checked the date for Amazing Friends 3-pack, and it's set to ship in January.
Some people
are getting it now. Really?
Well, I think overseas they're getting it.
Well, that's no surprise. They seem to be getting everything early these days.
In proximity to the factories and distribution, it makes sense, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Plus,
usually, I'm so used to us getting stuff in Canada first. There was a long while there where like everything was showing up in Ontario. Like,
it makes sense too. Well, they were in. I think it's another recent interview. They were talking about that question came up. The batch numbers are so low when it goes to UK, like compared to like Canada and US, where like big chains are ordering. So
right.
Ship.
Right. That makes sense. That does make sense. Their runs are smaller, therefore they can get through them quicker. Yeah, that does make sense. I'm trying to detail these little straps on the arm here. It's so hard to try to find reference art, as I was saying to you earlier tonight, for Age of Apocalypse stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like every fucking panel is different colors, different costumes, different.
Yeah.
Like Gambit, it's like, are these things I'm doing on his arms? It's like, are they brown? Are they like mustard? Are they green? It's like every panel is something different. It's like,
That's one thing I used to really enjoy. Back in the day, you kind of like got tired of seeing the same costume over and over, but it made sense. With the character, stay true to the character models. It makes things a lot easier. Have a character sheet and stay with that.
I agree.
The heroes are changing their costume all the time.
Always. It's just never ending, right? So I liked it when it was like a big deal, when it happened like once every like couple years,
Well, everybody was like when Superman came back in that black regeneration suit with the chrome S. People loved
it.
And the mullet.
I love the mullet.
I have to say, I have a soft spot for the mullet too. I was like, man, all they have to do is just give him a cape and keep the. Made more sense too. He is solar powered, and black absorbs more solar radiation, more heat.
Go. I didn't know that for the record, but yeah, that's that does make sense to me.
You would actually absorb more solar power by being in a black suit.
That does make sense. So this is what I have done tonight. I'm going to show you guys what I did tonight. So, and it's hard to see, of course, because now that I am in all black epoxy mode. So all the gray, I filled in all my peg holes. So I did my knees, I did my shoulder or my elbow, sorry. I did where I cracked the upper torso to come off in those spots. And then I mixed some black epoxy sculpt and I did his boots, which again, depending on what images you look at, some of them are just regular boots. Some of them are like wrapped. I'm kind of doing the like wrapped, wrinkled kind of look. Kind of looks like his boots are just like wrapped up in some kind of like I don't know if it's like tape or something, but yeah. And then I'm going to do the upper leg tomorrow because I have a hard time separating that boot cut when I do it all at once. It always ends up looking sloppy. So usually when I have to do that boot cut, I do it in 2 sessions.
I racked my head when the very first prime I did.
Yep.
I was trying my best to try to figure out how to save that boot cut on the Caliban. But on the Caliban, it's that weird.
It's short.
Cut. It's short and it's angled.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like everything I did just didn't look. I could have done it, but it wouldn't have matched the character. I wanted them to look
the aesthetic, right? You wanted it to look seamless, and you really couldn't do that with where it's placed on that body.
The last prime I did, I even got rid of the waist cut because on the Caliban, the waist cut is just so ugly.
Yeah. Well, again, his design doesn't really cater to that, right? Like it's not like a straight cut at that waist. So you end up calling out the design and like the weird flaw in the design of the costume when you keep it. Like it's...
Yeah, you got the armor comes down in that little spike.
To that little point, yeah.
On other primes I've done, I've kept that, and it just... You just see
it breaks up the sculpt. It breaks up the sculpt.
Yeah, you see that line. It's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes you have to sacrifice for the greater good, right? I try not to sacrifice articulation, but it does happen. Like I sacrificed it when I did that animated inspired Mandarin because the skirt, I couldn't get the skirt to lay how I wanted it to with the cut. And I was just like, nah, it's not working. It's not going to work. So.
In a dream world, I'd like to have something like the Caliban torso with a diaphragm joint.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It'd be nice to get that Caliban torso with this style.
Heck yeah.
Torso would be really, really nice. So that'd be great. I think that's about all I can do on this guy tonight. I think I'm working on too many parts. I think I'm going to have to let that fucking simmer. And
I just put another coat of blue on her butt.
On her butt? Let's see where you're at. You're going to show us what you did tonight. It's hard sometimes because we're talking and
I got the red done. And I started the blue on the front. On the back, I was a little more sloppy because there's going to be black. Black will cover up the seam lines, and I was doing where'd he go? What did I do with it? I'm losing my mind. I was working on Lord Pumpkin. There he is. I started working on the smaller Lord Pumpkin. I sculpted the eyebrow over here, put my finger in it 5 times, and redid it.
That's part of WIP Live. Everyone gets to experience the finger and the fresh sculpt. I don't even call it out anymore. I just do it, and I'm like, oh fuck.
I got 4 of his teeth done. That one big snaggle tooth, I'm probably going to do a piece of styrene and come out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And use it as like a structure, then sculpt around.
That's a good idea.
That's actually looking pretty good. And
Nice.
my extra epoxy of the head was a little bit loose. I took the Gray Widow and put it on the extra shield agent female bodies.
That's a good call.
When I drilled it out to fit, the socket was a little loose, so I put epoxy in there. So
when it cures, that'll work.
The skin tones actually look good, and that actually short-haired Widow head looks good on there.
I fucking love that Black Widow head, man. That's one of my favorite Marvel Legends heads.
I took the Rider
series. I wish they made all the female heads look like that, because that looks fucking pretty damn good.
She's beautiful, and like, why they do the same type of makeup effect on Maria?
I agree.
Quake.
I agree.
She has.
I didn't get that Quake figure, but I didn't get that Quake figure, but yeah.
It's like she just rolled up out of bed and just not even had her coffee yet. The Quake head.
It's I know. I wish they would put a little more love. Like I wish all the female Marvel Legends heads look like that new Silk one. Did you see that new Silk one with the Doc Ock 2-pack?
Mm-hmm. I want more of those heads.
She's beautiful.
I want one of those heads for. There's a character called Choice in Ultraverse. And she's Asian. That head would be perfect for her.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
And
it's so fucking nice.
I bought and Choice's suit is white, and I got an extra Renew Your Vows 2-pack. So I got
nice.
Spinneret.
There you go. That sounds
She's
good.
White and pink. The where the red's at is like a really cool pink pattern. I have to figure out how to do. I might have to do like a water slide type thing with like a basic water slide.
Have you done much with water slides?
I have, and they work fantastic.
Yeah, I just did. I just printed these off for my Quicksilver, and I'm gonna actually probably apply them tonight. I think I'm gonna really try to finish everything but that hair tonight.
This is not an actual water slide sheet, but it was like this sheet. Eyeballs and eyebrows.
Oh yes. That's awesome. Those would be helpful for me. I struggle with eyes.
That's one I want to get away too. Like the last prime, I want to make the heads exactly perfect, so I used the same eye decals and same eyebrow decals.
Oh, nice. So it was the same.
With the smiling head and the stern head, they look like they're exactly the same.
I think Marcus E says I tried water slide decal eyes recently. It was difficult, but I got it to work. I think people think they're easier than they are, because even though you don't have to paint the eyeballs, you still have to position them right, because if you don't, they look derpy as fuck.
Yes,
that's the thing with eyes, is like that's the like tolerance for forgiveness on like when things are out of place is so thin. Like it's just like it's such a narrow line. Like it's like they're either right or they're wrong. Like there's really no in between, even just a slightly off. They're
microsaw and microset is your friend too.
What's that, sorry?
Microsaw and microset for water.
Microsaw.
It softens paper, it makes it conform to the like rounded shapes.
Oh yes. I actually bought some printer paper that was specifically made for water slide stuff. I don't think they're made for toys and shit, but they're made for like mugs and stuff like that. So you can like they do conform to what you put them on pretty good. But I'm going to be making a actually I've been meaning to show it, and I think I showed it briefly last week, but I put together this base body to make a Customs by Matchu figure. Like, and the head is just a placeholder. I might actually see if I can find someone to do a digital sculpt for me. But I'm going to make him fatter too. So right now he's just really thin. That's not accurate. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test myself for when I do my next members of Blink, particularly when I do Travis Barker, because he's coated in tattoos. I'm going to attempt to do my tattoo sleeve as a water slide decal, or in pieces of a water slide decal. So
sweet.
I'm going to fill in the musculature on the arm so that way I don't look like I'm muscular. And then I'm going to shave my arm and take like some clean high-res pictures, and then I'm gonna print it out and piece it together and apply it as a water slide and see if it works. And if it does, then I'm going to use that method when I do my Travis Barker figure. I'm not going to make him shirtless because that's too much work, but I am going to do both his arms and his neck and his face and his hands because he's just like coated, right? So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to do those Blink figures.
Heck yeah!
I had quite a good time when I did the Mark Hoppus one last year, so I'm excited to do round 2 on Mark and the rest of the guys. Quebec Diorama's in the house. What up, man? How's it going?
I recommend getting this stuff here. That's the Microsoft Micro Set.
And sorry, tell me what that is. That's the
Micro Set. You want to put that down first, and it helps the decals adhere to the sculpt. You put it down, let it sit for a few, like a minute or so. Yeah, wait a few minutes then for the decal to soften. Press down the decal, and yeah, it's got directions on how to use it. Once you set the set as first, then after you put the decal on, you put the saw on. It softens up the water slide paper, where you can take your brush and just conform it to like with the eyes. You got a rounded sculpt. You want to put that in there. Same when I did the arm hair on Prime. Once I got up there, I hit the micro saw, let it soften it up. I was able to push it into the contours of the forearm.
Interesting. I'm going to have to write that down. Micro soft and micro set?
SOL, saw and set.
Saw and set.
Yep. And Hot Wheels. Watching the Hot Wheels guys. That's where I'm looking.
That's cool. I didn't even think. Yeah. I should definitely get that for when I do the tattoos, because my biggest concern is that it looks like I took pictures of tattoos and glued them on the arms. That's what I don't want. So yeah, that'll definitely help with getting into the crevices of the arm and the neck in particular, right? So
yeah, it's definitely. Yeah. We highly recommend when you're dealing with like a water slides on contoured surfaces.
Yeah. Cool. I'll have to check that out. Marcus U says, I'm doing freehand tattoos on the custom I'm working on. It's coming together. That's dope. I was recently watching the progress that Star Marvel has made on his. He's doing a figure right now that has like some like Japanese inspired tattoos. And like, it looks fucking sick.
Style.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Was that like that crazy like anime? It's like, well, he's former Yakuza, now he's a stay-at-home like husband.
That's a story.
He was an enforcer for the Yakuza. Now he's like the most stay-at-home, and he's still a badass. But he's like waits.
He's a badass while he makes pasta for dinner and
exactly that's what he's doing. He's like cooking supper, doing laundry.
That's funny.
He's like a house husband.
That's great. I love it. Well, listen, man, I think we're going to wrap this up here. Do you have anything you'd like to say before you go? If for anybody who isn't following Jared, this is his Instagram handle, at 1987olds442. And then on YouTube here, he's under the name Collector Express. All of his social info can be found in the description of this video. So please show some love and give him a follow and check out his work, because he does some awesome stuff. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we've been talking about that Prime figure, that Ultraverse Prime figure that I'm sure anybody who was reading comics or like Wizard magazine in the 90s will know what Prime is as soon as they see it.
Yeah, when you see Prime,
when you see him, you're like, oh, that guy.
I actually have one close by. If you hold on for a second, show it.
Yeah, go get it. Give him the screen so you can show this. So most of you guys will probably know what this is. So. And you have mastered this recipe at this point. Like this, like it really doesn't get any more perfect than what you've got.
Here we go. Let me move the water so I don't stick his cape in there.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's like fucking money, man. That's so perfect. Fuck. Well, that's amazing. I love that cape too.
The capes are actually. Oh, and I got the like vector logo.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That's awesome too.
I don't know what's the deal with my internet. It always blacks out my camera for some reason.
Yeah, whatever. It only happens for a second. You're good.
But I recreated the logo in Illustrator. A friend of mine does vinyl signs and graphics and T-shirts.
Oh, nice.
So I sent him the files and I sent him the capes, and he was able to cut them and press
them. Put them right on.
They look so cool because you can actually see the texture of the fabric through after you presses them on.
Through the thing. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. You spared no expense there, eh? You fucking did it right. Yeah, that looks so good, man. Honestly, those colors just pop like crazy.
I love how this turned out.
What are you using for a finish for a clear coat?
I use a mixture of to seal it hard coat. I actually use an automotive clear, a duplicolor.
Okay.
It's like a hard coat, like it's very for protect the finish.
Yeah.
Then for different finishes, I like mixes between gloss, satin, and
me
flat.
too. Yeah, me too. I don't like it too matte. I like it to have a little bit of sheen to it, but I don't want it to be glossy. Like
the skin tone's more matte than the pants.
Matte.
Semi-gloss.
Yeah.
So I hit it with my go-to for years was Tester's dull coat.
Me too.
And Tester's semi-gloss, which the semi-gloss was harder to find. It was like in their extreme lacquers brand. You can't find no more.
Right.
So
well, I don't know about you guys you can't get dull coat anymore either though, can you? Because they stopped making it, didn't they?
Yeah, switched to Mr. Hobby.
Mr. Hobby, okay.
Mr. Hobby has got a great finish, but I found a major flaw in Mr. Hobby. Can't really use it on flexible materials. It cracks. Now with the testers, you could actually put it on soft material and squish it and it'd be fine.
And it'd be okay, yeah.
In the Mr. Hobbies, you would get cracks as soon as you do that.
Interesting. I won't lie. Dull coat was always my go-to. And once I lost it, it took a long time to find something that I liked.
I got one last.
I still like.
And
really?
Yep.
By the time I realized what was happening, it was too late. Like I remember I went to Michael's to buy dull coat because I was looking for it, and then I love that figure too, Sludge. That's so dope. That's so sick, man.
This one I would never recreate because he was a chore.
A fucker? Yeah.
All that grouping sculpt.
It's nice though, dude. It looks so fucking clean and good. So good. I recently switched over to this is my newest one that I've been into. I've been using the
oh, there you are.
I've been using the Liquitex matte varnish for quite some time, but I don't love it. Like it's too matte. Like it leaves everything looking really dull, and really kind of boring. So I always end up having to bring it back to life. So I just started using this one a couple customs ago, and it's a satin varnish, and I quite like it. It works really well.
Well, that's what I really like about the combination when I seal stuff with the automotive clear.
Yep.
I hit it with the Mr. Hobby matte. One coat leaves a semi-gloss finish.
Oh yeah, see that's good.
But if you hit another coat, it goes flatter. Like you said, if it goes too matte, it's
too matte. It's boring. Yeah, it's blah, right? So yeah. I actually, to bring things back to life, what I used to do was I would use the Liquitex matte finish, and then I would actually hit it with the Pledge floor care that I use to tighten joints. Cool. And it kind of brings it back to life. It kind of brings back the gloss a bit, right? And you can kind of control If you want a real heavy gloss, you kind of have to give it a good 3 or 4 coats. But if you are just looking for it to just kind of get its liveliness back, just a quick airbrush of like Pledge floor care, and it smells good too.
This is my last of my bottle acrylic clears. You got the flat semi-gloss and the gloss. I got one more bottle of the semi-gloss, but this is my last clear gloss and flat.
This is my. I still have my brush on, or bought my glass bottle of dull coat, but I use it sparingly because I don't have much of it. So
yeah, it's like I'm down to my last bottle of white too. It's like a tester.
That's the problem, is you get something that you love and then like you can't get it anymore, right? What's your primary paint brand that you use?
It was Testers.
It was Testers, yeah.
Then
that's the Model Masters, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I never got the chance to use
it. What's going to hurt the worst when I run out of this? The skin tone light base and the warm base. I use this to custom my skin tones, and you mix a little bit of white and yellow in it, and you get this beautiful. That's the skin tone I got for Prime. And
nice, yeah, that looks
beautiful. Great. Like it looks like my skin.
Looks close, yeah, it looks close.
With the lights,
skin tones are tricky, man. They're tricky.
And I got a lighter tone here for different skin tones that matches a lot of Marvel Legends. This one matches probably more like a DCUC skin tone based tank, where they in Motu Classics.
That's awesome, man. You're good at all that stuff. How long have you been customizing for?
Action figures, I started probably around 2010.
Okay.
When my father passed away, I stopped for several years and got back into it in the last few years. Well, I do a little bit of kit bashing here and there. There's nothing major. Yeah. Really got back into it during lockdown stuff.
Oh, okay. So it's relatively recent then.
Yeah, I quit for like I said, years. One of the last ones I did, big customs. I used to get commissioned a lot doing Marvel Now caps, because this is a great
cool.
But no paint.
Right. Yeah. That's always good.
So
takes a lot of the risk off the table.
I did a lot of like repaints for these for people.
Nice. That's cool though. Whatever works, man.
This is like
an audience.
This is the one I started beforehand. I just pulled it out like my work in progress box from years ago. I started putting together. It's like didn't like it be a mismatch because I used the forearms for a modern U.S. agent.
Okay.
And I got the boots here. Just for the heck of it, I want to see if the Reaper boots would, or like the Buccaneer boots would fit. And it adds height
and
to
they
it.
Did. Nice. So
it's going to be like a mashup. I'm going to take one of these Gamerverse heads, which is a little bit bigger. I love the head sculpt for this one, but it's small.
Yeah, too small.
So I'm going to take one of these Gamerverse ones. Got here where I haven't shaved off the A yet. I'll paint this one up.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'll finish this one out and basically finish a custom I started so many years ago.
That's fun. I like when you can do that.
One of the ones, I did it like I was doing, like one of the last ones I did. I actually made it for myself, and I lengthened the boots. I cut them down here at this edge seam here where I could hide the seam line. Put a styrene rod in the leg and sculpted over and made the sculpt continue.
Oh, nice.
That way you got more.
To give it a bit of height. Yeah, that was the only issue with that base body. It was just kind of stumpy.
I was doing like a repaint one for another friend. Like he used to pay me to do the repaint. Well, excuse me. He seen my taller ones. Like, I want boots like that. It's like, I don't want to make another set of boots right now. So I give him.
Oh, that's a lot of work. Oh man. All right. Well, listen. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. And I know the time.
So I thought I was going to get more done than I did, but
I feel like that is literally my story with WIP Wednesday Live, as I always go in thinking I'm gonna get this and this and this and this done, and I come out and I got like one thing done, and I'm
Well,
like, fuck.
one thing I do too, like with like you and I'm sure you do the same. Is so many people want to rush their paint, and they don't let their paint
Can't do it.
dry in between coats.
Yep. Bad.
Start getting the brush strokes.
Yep.
And the globby paint.
And the globby paint. No one likes a globby paint.
You got.
I always feel like I mean, you probably see this too because we exist on the same plane in Instagram. But like, I know a couple guys. I see a couple guys who like I really like their work, and I want to say something, but I don't want to come off as being like the know-it-all guy, you know. But it's like I see some of their work, and I'm like, man, your sculpt work is beautiful, but you need to learn how to control your goddamn paint. Like that thing is goopy as fuck, man. Your skin tones are blotchy and brutal.
Jobs just basically kind of like ruined by the paint.
It does, man. Like a thick applications on your paint. It's just never.
They can
like I get that it goes faster if you don't.
No, hands down, out sculpt me. But then they paint it, and it's like,
Yeah, man. I know.
I
feel like some people are just good at that one component of it, right? You know.
Well, it's like when it took me a long time to when they first showed up on the scene, I thought Loose Collector was one guy. They're a team of guys.
Yes. Yeah, I did too, actually. It took me a long time to realize that it was not just one person.
So. Oh, a lot of people still think that.
I think it was that magazine thing they did where they showed. You remember that? They were in that Filipino magazine, I think, or something, and like they like walk through what each person did on the team, and it's pretty cool.
It makes sense why they were churning customs out like crazy too.
Well, totally. There was a point where they were just like all the time, go. Here's another. Here's another.
That's one of the things I have a lot of projects going at one time. When paint's drying on one thing, I work on something else.
Yes. My general rule of thumb is I only work on 3 projects at once, and it's for that reason. So it's like tonight, I've done my sculpt on Gambit. Tonight I'm going to get another session in probably, but I'm going to work on Quicksilver. And then I try to really just work on 2 primary projects, but I always have a third in the wind just in case for that exact reason, right? You get to the end of a project and you're like, all right, I have like 20 minutes of sculpting to do, but I have like the whole night still to like work. So
this eventually I need to get back to work on too. Pit.
Pit. Nice. That'll be cool.
I shrunk down a Build-A-Figure head.
Oh, nice. That's a good idea.
And
is that a Game Reverse Hulk body, or is that
is the knockoff 80 anniversary Hulk body, but done as the Outback Hulk.
Right.
So
I like that. I like that base body. He's not as big, but I like him though. I like how he moves. Figure wise, I like how he moves. I like the way you move.
I wish if somebody would knock off the Game Reverse one, the Outback, and make us another arm the exact same size.
That'd be great.
It's got that one giant arm or one regular arm, and it's like,
yes, he does.
The giant arm actually looks good. It actually helps bulk out the figure.
Yep.
Me and a buddy of mine, like on the Hulk Smash, we start doing like a customizer showcase. If you're ever interested, then we'd love to have you do that sometime. Where we sit down with a customizer and we just a little Q&A.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love to. My biggest issue with yours is like your time is so like I pretty much spend every Sunday night.
Well, we've been doing on Saturdays.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we should try to arrange because that would be fun. I'd be totally down with that.
And Nusted Customs, another Canadian customizer.
I know that name as well. Yes.
And he used the Game Reverse one. He made a Weapon H.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
He resculpted the other arm to be the same size as the big arm, and it looked fantastic. He also put more definition in the chest and torso too. But
nice, yeah.
It's like beautiful custom.
Well, the proportions on that figure are a little like human-esque. So it's nice, like if you want them to be like bustling and like super muscular, bulging muscles, you kind of have to add to it. But
I would love to get more Hulk-based characters in Marvel Legends, or
me too.
Hulk-boarding characters. Like he's got such great.
I agree. I think it'll come.
Great sporting characters and great villains.
I think it'll come.
How in the world do we not have UFOs in the Marvel Legends?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
The UFOs? They're like basically like an evil version of Fantastic Four. They fight. You got their leader is Vector. He can actually repel matter. Their big guy is called Ironclad. He's like basically like a Hulk-sized looking Silver Surfer with a flat head.
I've seen that character, I think, before. Yeah.
X-ray with energy type character, and you got the vapor. She can turn into the mist, like gaseous forms.
Okay.
Great.
I feel like if I saw them, I would know it. What are they called again? I'm gonna look it up.
The UFOs.
UFOs.
U-foes. But they're great. Perfect for Ironclad.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen these guys before.
But they're pretty well a good serious threat.
I don't think I ever realized that, but I know I've seen these before. So, Ironclad, X-ray, Vapor, and Vector.
Cool. They can either do I'd buy a box set of them easily. The big thing is,
I feel like that's a box set territory for sure.
Yeah, Vector's paint.
Ironclad looks huge though.
Yeah, he's monstrously huge.
Like you wouldn't be able to do that on a Hulk body. You'd have to do something bigger.
I think the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure would be right for him.
Would be good.
Because the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure is actually bigger than the 80th anniversary Hulk body.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And
that's another reason why I haven't changed mine is because I like my Juggernaut to be a bit bigger. But
that's one thing too with the Ironclad. He does like kilt, and actually you can hide those hips on the Juggernaut hips.
Oh right, and then they won't be so bad. So. Jordan from Canada says Collector Express is super comic knowledgeable. Yes.
Old school comics.
Yes, old school comics. Well, those are the important
my old school is 90s to early 2000s. Early 90s to early 2000s.
When I got back into comics in 2015 and realized that modern comics were not scratching the itch for me, I went on this huge bender of like Byrne era X-Men, like giant size X-Men, like 70s, late 70s, early 80s X-Men. And I was like, I fucking love this. Like, I just love it. I love the stories from the 80s way better than the 90s. I just like the art from the 90s better. But
there's a cool, I think it's like 398 or 397. There's a story with the Hulk fighting the UFOs.
Yep.
And Vector, where he repels matter, he was blasting the Hulk. He was actually flaying the flesh off the Hulk. Hulk was powering through the blast. And it's like,
damn.
And when he got to Vector, he was almost just basically just some meat over top of skeleton and just backhand Vector.
Yeah, see, how come we don't get that in comics anymore?
And he dropped to his knees, and then people were like, "Are you okay? Give me a minute." And his healing factor is just as strong, if not stronger, than Wolverine's.
Wolverine's? Yeah. Marcus Z says UFOs could easily be good She-Hulk villains in season 2.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
As long as they don't do them like the Wrecking Crew.
I was just going to say, as long as they're not Wrecking Crew bad, that would be bad.
How in the world
the Wrecking Crew were going to get redeemed, but they didn't. So.
And how in the world did they get away with whitewashing Thunderball? They casted a white dude to play Thunderball.
Oh, yes, they did. I'm not really I know who the Wrecking Crew is just because, but that's a good point. I didn't even notice that.
It's like,
that is surprising. Very surprising.
We're at the same episode 2 where they did the twerking thing, so everybody focused
that is true.
On it, not the fact
that is true. That is true. Very true. All right, Jared, listen, we're going to wrap this up, but thank you again very much. Again, everybody, please go show Collector Express some love on YouTube and on Instagram. Again, there's his IG handle. And thanks, man. We'll definitely do this again.
Absolutely,
It's fine.
and everybody who come like saw the video, come and subscribe to Custom Matchu. Thank you too.
Yes, thank you guys. Seriously, I got a bunch of new followers today, so it's really awesome, and I very much appreciate it. So
some of the things I think would help with like your custom showcases, for getting the right word tags, like things like helps with that. I think if you put like
custom, yeah, I'm still not good at that stuff. I gotta put the time in to like sit down and look at it.
I think if you, I found like if when you do custom Marvel Legends character name, and that helps get it seen a little bit better.
Helps it get found. Yeah. I don't think I even do any tags on stuff, or maybe I did for the first couple. I can't really remember.
For the title itself, it's like I know you do like the
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll pick your brain when I get there. I need to get back to making videos. Fuck, I really just use Instagram for live streams now, but I need to get back to it. I really want to do. I have a couple other mod ones I want to do, and I really want to do my collection, but like more broken down, so it's not just like here's a 3-hour video. It's like that's pretty daunting, right? So I think most people are like, fuck that noise, no thank you. So
is not going to be on figures. It's going to involve these.
Yep, there you go. All right, man. Well, listen, thank you very much.
Collection, and like they showed like those flat stands made by coat hangers. Everybody's like, what are those?
Yep. I love coat hanger flight stands. I don't have the patience to make them myself, but I buy some from 796 Studios. I really like his. They're really, really good.
Well, didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's good, man. That's all good. Thank you again, Jared, and to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys all for being here as always. Appreciate you. And we'll see everybody next week. I don't know what I'm doing next week, but I'm doing something. So we'll figure it out then. But until then, peace out. Thanks again, man. Talk to you soon.
Thank you again.